We're back. This is Julien, live and direct from St.Lucian, the Royal St.Lucian Seamoss Company, and I am on fire right now. Like fire, fire, fire. Like you have no idea. Like I am so happy tonight because for the last week my Instagram account was taken hostage, and I got it back. I listen. You guys have no idea the amount of tenacity that I have when it comes down to getting something that I want done. And it was like one of those things where, like, I just before this live stream, I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm doing it. I'm getting this shit back. So for the last 3 days, I've been like toying with this. If you guys could see the messages I was sending this guy, I was totally trolling him. And so what I was doing was I was trolling him so that I could see when his when he was going to be sleeping. So I like would message him and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Because he was messaging me, asking me to get the code. Because at a certain point he was locked out and he was trying to get back. So he was like, "Oh, brother, send me the code, brother." So I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I got the code. Oh, is this the code? Oh, what code? Where's the code?" And blah blah blah. And I was like, if you can see the messages, I was trolling this guy, and I like sometimes he was in a meeting, and he was like, "I'm in a meeting," and I'm like, "You work? What do you mean you work? I thought you were a hacker. I thought you hackers make all kinds of money." And so whenever he wasn't messaging me, I could tell when he was kind of like I could figure out the timeline when he was sleeping. And some tonight, like I was getting ready for the live stream, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it now. Boom. Because I had the code, I had everything ready from Facebook to take back my account. But what had happened earlier in the week is they did it for me, and I got into the account. And then somehow he got in. I don't know what he was like. It was one of those things where I was surprised that I even got in. And I was like, I'm in. And then all of a sudden he popped up in the account and kicked me out. And then, started messaging me and asking me for the code to get. It was just, oh man, craziness. That's all I gotta say, craziness. But I'm back, and thank you for the support. And I hope no one had responded to any of whatchamacallit. Yeah, Power of Seamoss, I love you too. Thank you for rooting for me. I hope no one fell victim to that scam. But I told the guy because he was messaging me, and he was like, I was like, bro, you don't know my community. Like the people that I talk to and stuff, they know me. They know I would never send you Bitcoin this or I'm like at the same time I'm like these guys, they hate Bitcoin. You know what I mean? They're all anti, they're not into that stuff. So I'm just happy to have it back. Like, wow, I don't know what I can say. I am that room is no longer available. What? How is this room not available when I started the room? Sorry, I'm on TikTok and I'm trying to figure out. TikTok is weird now. It was so easy to use, and now it's like it's really weird now. Join the room in progress. Okay. I am in the room. Ooh, okay, fix it. Yeah, so I'm ecstatic. I still can't believe I got it back. But you know what? This is a testament of the power of being committed and keeping, like, not giving up. Right? There's a book that I studied. I'm very profound in this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I recommend anybody that's serious about just moving this camera so it looks better. Anybody that's serious about business that wants to excel and be successful, you need to read the book Think and Grow Rich. And in the book Think and Grow Rich, they talk about this story called stopping 3 feet short of gold. Huh? They talk about doing it 3 feet short of goal, and in the video, camera, make sure it's weird when it looks like when I look at the camera, it doesn't look like it's what's the word, balanced or whatever. It's all lopsided. It's funny. My ADHD is tripping. So in the book Think and Grow Rich, um, they talk about a story about how this guy who was what was it? He was mining gold, and he found money to mine gold, and all of a sudden everything was going good, and then all of a sudden the gold stopped, and they couldn't figure out why they were going to gold, and they were digging and digging and digging and digging, and they never got it, and then finally they said, we're never going to get it, and they gave up, and they sold the equipment to a junk man, and so the junk man went around and he hired a geologist who then looked at the ground and looked at all this shit and did some tests. And they realized the fault line had just curved a little. And where they were drilling, they were just 3 feet away from the gold. And so the guy kept drilling and they found the gold and they harvested it. And they lived happily ever after. And the moral of the story is that, you know, it's always at that point where you're about to give up, where you're just going to reach gold. And so I was at that point where I was going to give up, where I was just like, fucking let them have the account. I'll just, you know what I mean? Like, no one has access to it. No one can spam. No one, I'll leave it at that and just build a new one, which a lot of people would do. A lot of people, when they say, I have to start a new account, when I look into it, I realize they didn't really have to start an account. They just gave up and got tired of trying. And so for me, I never give up. I do give up. I shouldn't say that, but like, it's almost like when I know that I'm at that point where I'm like, it's, fuck, I'm ready to give up. That's when I push a little harder just to see what's over the hill. Because usually when I go over the hill, that's where the fucking pasture is, and that's where everything that's golden and beautiful is. And so I encourage everybody to do whatever they can to like push a little harder than what they really do, because you never know when you're really 3 feet away from gold. You know what I mean? And tonight I was 3 feet away from gold, and instead of sort of throwing in the towel, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to take that account." Because a lot of people were like, your account's gone. Pay this guy. This guy's going to, charge you $300 to get it back. I was like, hell no. There's one thing about me. I am very, how do you say it, value conscious. You know what I mean? I'm very reluctant to spend my money on anything. And so, someone sent me a message saying they're sorry to hear this. And I'll check on your order for sure. But I'm just glad to have this account. I still can't believe I got it back. God is good. I asked God, I was like, please, because like you don't realize how important something is until it's gone. And realistically, Instagram is very important to me. I've built a very strong business on there. A lot of people are joining on me. People are messaging on me. Like I couldn't message people for a week. I still haven't even got to all my messages. I got to a few messages, and I had to some of the most important ones where I could see they had an issue, and I responded to them, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta get back to but like I couldn't answer them all, you know. So now I don't just have 2 authentication factor. I have like 3 times of that. Like I got every single security feature that they got. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And there was no way I wanted to be on my trip and worrying about uh, Instagram. Oh my god! So I'm very excited, very happy. Thank you. Let me know if anybody has any questions about Seamoss. I don't want this all to be about me talking about my my time when the Instagram guy and the text messages. I should post some of them. Like they were so funny. I was just because at the time, at a certain point, I just was like, whatever. I'm gonna have some fun with it, and so I just trolled them. Like some points, I was trolling him so hard. I was like, you know what? I better stop this because he's gonna do something. He's gonna get mad and sabotage my account somehow. Because I was just teasing. But you know what? If you're gonna have a bad situation, at least try to make the best of it. You know what I mean? Try to have as much fun with it, and that's what it was. It was a shitty situation. I was so upset. Barely had trouble sleeping at times because it was like, this guy's messaging all these people. People were calling me and being like, "Oh, what is this Bitcoin shit?" Uh, and what if someone gotten taken and gotten ripped off? I would have felt very remorseful. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know. I try to warn people, but it's hard to get into your Instagram account when you have no access to it. Most people, there's a lot of people on there that they don't like. I don't communicate with them on any other avenue but that. Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm here and I'm ready to talk about Seamoss. Like, what are we going to talk about tonight, guys? We can get started in doing some labeling soon. I got all these Seamoss things. I gotta do shipping labels. I figured I was gonna be here all night. I was like, I might as well just do those while I'm here and kill two birds with one stone. I wonder if I can do that. The window, this screen, not do that. Yeah. I think I can. I can do my. I'm such a multitasker. I can do my shipping labels while I'm talking to everybody. And if anybody has any questions, I don't know if this text thing started working yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to open it because I know some of these Facebook pages, especially the CMOS Flyers Club, there'll be comments and questions, and I don't even see them. No questions. Sorry, I'm reading some comments on the Facebook group because someone had asked me about shipping CMOS in their suitcase. So I showed them the picture of my suitcase and about the story about how I came back from mechanic customers, and they opened it, and like literally there was like absolutely no clothes. I think it was like a T-shirt that I had, and maybe a spare, and then no, I think I had a sweater and I had a pair of pants because I knew I was coming from the cold. It was October, and I knew it was going to be chilly at night, so I was in shorts and a T-shirt, and I didn't have a jacket, so I was like, "That's what I packed." And the first thing they said was like, "Where's your clothes?" And I looked at them and I go like, "Clothes? Like, what do you mean clothes? It's what's in the suitcase. That's what I have. Don't talk to me about clothes. I'm wearing them. You know." So yeah, sneak one. Yes, I'm so happy to be back. I am like, beyond the moon, as they would say, to be back. And it was strange not having Instagram. You know what I mean? Like I see how this like addiction is with like the dopamine and stuff like that. But you kind of like because it was like I had all my other social platforms, but it was like one of them was missing. It wasn't the same. It's like I was getting like not a full dose. Where's it? 5 8. So right now, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I am printing out shipping labels for the orders tomorrow. Basically, staying late, making sure that I get all caught up with the orders, and so we don't have a situation. Because I'm leaving in a few days, and I want to make sure that we're all caught up. And then I got my cousin in helping me bag sea moss. for future orders so that when I'm not here, they can just pick and deliver. You know, we're gonna have it up here like Amazon. Stratford. I think that's where Justin Bieber's from. Stratford. You know, he canceled his concert today. Kids were crying in the streets, all over the place. They were like, "No, the Biebs." Yeah, I got his what do they call it? Tim Hortons bullshit. I think there's like no limit to like the ways that companies will try to find ways to sell us product. And never doing it. Here we go. Print that label. Music's not too bad that they put on this restream. Yes, MSE204. I seen the message and I responded to you, right? I don't know if you heard. I think I said in the message, my account has been hacked, and so we had no access to Instagram or to see any notes of what was going on or anything like that. And so I just literally got access to it in the last, like, we're talking 20 minutes, you know? And so I will have it dealt with. I'll probably have someone process a refund, or not a refund, but what do you call it, a reship or whatever. We'll reship that out for you. And so you'll probably get an email either later tonight or tomorrow morning with things. So if you don't hear from us by tomorrow afternoon with a message, send me either another message on Instagram or email me, or even just call me, 647-628-9736. That's my direct number. And I'm sorry that there was a mix up with your Seamoss order. It was not intentional. So I am really excited for my trip in St. Lucia. Um, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, say I'm gonna be like live streaming 24/7, but for real, I'm gonna be live streaming a lot. And so yeah, be ready to get access to areas and to places and people that you've never seen before. Um, I was just talking to one of my buddies tonight, and he was like, "Yeah, you gonna come on the farm?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Not am I gonna come on your farm? I'm gonna bring the drone. I'm gonna have, like, fucking GoPro cameras. Like, we're gonna make a movie." He started laughing because it was like, yeah, I can see us all out there with the, all the gadgets and shit like that. But no, bro, real talk. This is no joke. I'm not playing around anymore, you know? gonna spend 2 weeks down there, just like immersed in the farms. And then I think when I get back, while I'm down there, I'm gonna plan. I think we need to do like a Seamoss trip tour, and so I'm going to source out some places, if not one giant place. There's one place that I've looked at. I think I talked about it last week or on Sunday, where we can rent it out, and I think it sleeps like about 8 people or 8 couples, whatever. And we're going to just hang out and deal with Seamoss. You know what I mean? Like, I'll have a bus rental and we'll go to the beach every day, to the farms, and you guys can live like the Seamoss life for like a week. That would be badass. You know what I mean? So Iced Out Baby Cake says, "Hey, how is the Seamoss biz going? Seamoss biz is going amazing, like really good. Um, it's growing nonstop. Um, I see lots of people doing really well with it. You know, I feel like if this is something you want to get into, it's still not too late. You know, go for it. Like, we still haven't done mass penetration, and it's coming. It's getting there. Like, a lot of people are starting to learn about Seamoss and inquire about it. So it's going to take someone who has the money or the ability to put the product in a large amount of stores. And when they're able to supply a large amount of stores, then people were going to see it, and they're going to be more like, you know. I'm going to see what Yusuf's got to say. Yo, what? You knew I was gonna get the comeback. Tell me I wasn't gonna get the comeback. I told you I was gonna get it back. You remember I wasn't even really like that. How do you say it? Like, I wasn't really freaking out. I was kind of like chill. Like, yeah, they got my account.
They try to do stuff on WhatsApp. They try to do it on Instagram. They try to do it on Facebook. Everything.
What, they were trying to message you from my account on Facebook? Or on WhatsApp?
People trying to hack in everybody's account, like different social media accounts.
Oh yeah, fuck, dude, it's crazy.
But yeah, I was trying to see if they'll respond to it, but it didn't.
No, I think the guy was sleeping at one point with me. So how I was able to get it back, pretty much, was I trolled him for the last 3-4 days, and I took notes on when he didn't message me back. Right, so I was able to sort of determine an approximate time of when he was sleeping. And so when he was sleeping, that's when I sprung into action. You know what I mean? And I took the account. It was bad. And what's so funny too is I messaged him and I'm like, "Hey buddy, you there? I got the code." And then it was like no message. I was like, "Yeah, he's sleeping. Good night." Sweet dreams, buddy. Fucker. Oh man, I was so mad. So upset.
He sent you the message on the phone. That's how he got through. That's how he took it.
Pardon?
I said he must have sent you a text message on the phone. That's how he hacked your account.
Oh, I know exactly how he can. Right now, I was like not paying it. Total like fucking airhead like move. You know what I mean? Because the account that he sent it from was a guy that I know from the neighborhood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's one of those kind of guys that's always calling me and asking me to do crazy, stupid shit. Like, oh, I need help with this, and you know what I mean? So it was like, oh, not this guy again. Oh, okay, here you go. And I'm like, and I just kind of did it for him. But as soon as I did it, I was like, wait a minute. This guy has my number. He would have called me. Like he's the kind of guy who would have called me and explained it to me. You know what I mean? So I was like, wait a minute, this guy would have called me. Why would he message me? How do I even know this guy is real? And then so I went back to the account to check, and then that was it. Block. Can't get in. Account set to private. Like what? And then there was this message of this guy basically saying, hey buddy, like I'm trying, let me in your account or send me the code and I'll help you get your account back. And I was like, whatever, you know. But one time I got the account back and I was in there and he somehow snuck back in and kicked me out. Like I seen him log on and then he next thing you know I was booted and I couldn't get back in again. And so
Did you change your phone number and stuff?
huh?
Change your phone number that's in your profile.
Oh yeah?
Don't use the same phone number that's on your account.
Okay.
So go through and change it. And I want to already change the password.
I don't know if I can change. Actually, you know what? I could probably go onto my webpage here and do it because I'm like, oh, I can't get into my account. So, but I turned like I got like 50. I got every single 2 authentic activity that you can do. Where do you change your number?
Go to profile.
Yeah, map edit profile.
Oh, it might be under settings. And it should be like account settings or account information.
No.
It should be like a little thing to say. It should be right at the top, the right hand corner. The right corner. You click on it, you should see account, privacy, activities, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, let me get in.
They're gonna keep trying to send you links, and if you click on it, they're gonna give you a code. But when you change the number, then they're gonna send you a code. So I think they're gonna send you a code so they know that it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody trying to get me like that. Oh, I'm gonna send you a code. Just copy the link and send it to me.
That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. And I wasn't paying.
I kept saying I don't see it. I'm in the desert. I can't get it.
Oh, bro, you should have seen the comments I was saying with this guy. He was just like getting mad. At one point, he's like, I don't think you understand. And in my mind, I'm like, fucker, I know, I understand. I completely understand. I'm not giving you that satisfaction. Like, hell no. You know? So, it's getting there. I'm just, like I said, I'm happy to be back. I'm just like, wow. Oh shit, that reminds me. I gotta figure out, I gotta make sure I download my dumbass QR code, whatever, so I can fly. I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna make a list of all the stuff I gotta do before my trip to make sure I got my trip and make sure I pack everything. And I gotta get one of those luggage suitcase things because I'm bringing so much stuff. I know that my suitcase is going to be weighing more than.
What kind of stuff you bringing?
Oh, I got this badass, you know those seats that fold out. You know what I mean? That open up.
Yeah.
So I have these badass seats where they fold out and open like the kind of thing, but they're all military. They're all camouflage, and it's got like it's from the beer store. We have a place called the beer store where we sell all our beer. So it's this seat that you're supposed to like. It's like a camping thing, and so I'm bringing them down to St. Lucia so that when we're sitting on the farms and we're having our beers, we can like pull out these chairs out of the back of the truck and we have a seat because usually we don't got anywhere to sit around, you know. So that is what it is. You want to hear something funny today? So you know I have that Seamoss Buyers Club, right? Okay, so there's this guy called Natural Being, right? I don't even know if I should be discussing this because if the guy sees not Natural Being, but the guy in the Facebook. But this is like I want to tell this story because in some way it's like this is why I love being this whole moderator of this group. So the guy messages me, and so first of all, the backstory is this: Natural Being puts on this post, right? It's some fucking post about like these things you've been misled about, and he goes into all these different facts, right? And let me see if I can pull it up quickly to give you kind of content to make you understand why, you know, what he was saying in this thing. So let me see. He posted another one. Oh, 6 reasons why Seamoss sellers are lying to you. And then he goes, the first one, he's like, the 92 mineral lie. Then he's like, number 2, the fake Seamoss lie. And he's like, number 3, the Seamoss alkalines your body lie. 4, the Seamoss will detox you lie. The 5 one is like, don't mix with Seamoss lie. And then another one is Seamoss removes mucus lie. So he goes into all these details and says, like, these are lies and shit like that, right? Now, the thing I like about his posts, right or wrong, he generates a lot of interest and a lot of activity. People are communicating and they're discussing the ideas. They're going out and researching it to see if what this person is saying is real. To me, this is what a group should be about. We should be active and communicating and discussing and debating, right? So I, in some ways, like I'm saying that because I like this guy's post because it stirs activity. Like, you know, sometimes the group gets really stagnant and we talk about boring stuff and it's all about selling Seamoss when really it should be more than just, you know, selling Seamoss, but also about sharing ideas and opinions and stuff. So this guy emails me and I don't want to say his message word for word, but I gotta read this message where he's kind of like, you know, you have a post by this guy, you know, he's a big time fraud and he's a Sebi hater, you know, he's been removed from a dozen pages, you know, some other shit, he's bad news and his post should be deleted. And then the thing he ends off with is he's like, and I'm the admin of 3 Sebi pages and all of them, all, and he was removed from all of them. Like as if that's supposed to weigh some weight on my decision. Like, oh my god, he got deleted from 3 Sebi groups. Like, oh, well, that's it. He's out of the group. So I said, I know who Natural Being is. I don't think he's a Sebi hater. Just trying to correct some of the misinformation that's being spread. Right? And then I'm like, and this is not a Dr. Sebi group. So I don't understand why his post should be removed. I go, he was probably removed from many of he was probably removed because many of you have a hard time keeping an open mind and only want to follow whatever Dr. Sebi said and not question anything. I'm like, I know for a fact there's no 92 minerals in the sea moss. I know sea moss doesn't get minerals from the rock, and I know there's no 102 minerals in a human body.
Trying to remove you after that.
Well, I said, but I was kicked out of many of the pro Sabi groups because I choose to do my own research, and I got the true answers. I'm like, this group was started because I got tired of getting kicked out of those same groups that kicked out Natural Being, right? And then he's like, never mind, I forget I wrote, you'll see. Like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm in a lot of sense, it's like this is a Facebook group. Okay, we're here to network and share information. That's it. Like, don't get caught up in your emotions about what this guy's opinion is. If you don't like his opinion, put him on snooze. Don't listen to him. Don't follow what he's. Do you know how many people have blocked me in that group, and I'm the admin of the group?
Oh man, you tripping out, man.
Hey, someone's messing with me. But that's what I find. That's the one thing I find most comical is that there's people on the group that will block me, and then at the same time, there's times where those who block me will reach out to me and look to me to help them in the group. It's like, wasn't I blocked because you didn't like what I had to say, and now you want me to say something to someone else? Like, this is not a, how do you say it? You pick and choose. You can't cherry pick the my support. Like, you got to take some of the good with the bad, and is what it is. So yeah, I got my account back. Still stuck with that.
Man, that's crazy. People crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, people crazy. I got kicked out every group on Facebook, everything.
Uh-huh.
Talking about every group because I can't keep my mouth closed.
Yeah, you just gotta speak on it, and then they don't like it.
Yeah, people be saying about the mineral stuff, but it's like, bro, it's so easy to find out. It's so easy.
Yeah.
90 essential minerals. It's easy to find out how many minerals that you can consume.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. People don't want to really do research. People really don't want to know.
No.
I think they really don't want to know. Most people, I think they just want to keep saying that because it's like a sales pitch. And the guy who said that also was saying moringa was bad for you. Oh, moringa is bad for you. Don't do it. Moringa is bad for you. But Dr. Sebi only was saying moringa was bad for you because the other guy was selling it. That was his competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which usually is what happens.
Yeah, a lot of things Dr. Sebi said that wasn't true. He only was saying it because he was in competition with other people, so he tried to make other people's product look bad. And you have to be an idiot to think that the food that he has on his list is the only natural food on his planet. That means everybody's been eating the same shit forever, and then they just came up with all this shit in the lab. I'm like, that is retarded. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's my mama right there in the comment.
Oh, hey. That's your mama? Really? That looks like could be like your sister. Is she using an old photo? Let me look her up. Let me slide in her DMs. I'm kidding. I'm teasing you there. Bro, I used to do this joke, right? So you know how they used to like make fun of your mom or whatever, right? So anytime someone would be talking some crap and be like, "Oh, your mom is this" or whatever, I'd be like, "Hold on a second," and I would call my mom and I would give the phone to them and be like, "Yeah, someone wants to talk to you." And it'd be my mom, and she'd be like, "Hello? Yeah, you wanted to say something to me?" The look on their faces, because they would never expect it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you know how my mom is. Like, what is it? Tell me what it is. What did you gotta say? Oh, nothing, Miss Jean Pierre. It's okay. She's like, yeah, you want to talk about my mom? Huh?
You'll be in St. Lucian.
I'm gonna be in St.Lucian this Sunday. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Bro, it's killing me.
For a few weeks.
A month. What's up, Ricky?
My mama on the live. My
Yeah.
mom will look at Ricky, and she gonna be like, "Hey, you look like my son," because Ricky actually look like my older brother.
No way. Crazy.
Hair and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, he look like my older brother.
Crazy. So I got my account back. I know.
I tried to figure out the flavor of this game.
No, man.
They're like, yeah, where's Julien at? I'm like, you can go to Facebook. They're like, you go to Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, what's the name on Facebook? I was like, you don't know?
Better ask somebody.
You don't know? I'm not giving it to you.
Well, it's Julien on Facebook, or is anyways. Someone else is. Who's out here? Someone else wants to join us. Masuka. Oh, maybe he declined the request. Oh, there he is. What's up, bro? Are you the guy who hacked my Instagram account?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so what's up? Huh?
How are you?
Good.
How are you?
Good.
I'll be like,
Yeah. So are you into Seamoss or what? What's up? Huh? Yeah, okay. I know. How do I?
He said, give my account back. You're trying to tell you, give my account back.
He wants the account back?
Yeah, that's the funny thing with his account back there. Let his account out.
he won't call, acting like he Rico Suave, man.
Oh, I bet you did, dude. Listen, me and that guy, we almost developed a relationship. We were like talking every day for like a week. Are you that guy? Tell me you're. Don't tell me you're that guy. Let me see. Bro, that would be crazy.
To keep my account back.
Is that what he said?
I need to sell Bitcoin.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? The same guy that I when I got the account back, I seriously waited. It probably is him because I timed it so that he was sleeping. Huh? I don't
He
understand.
said the phone lagging. He said
Oh.
the phone lagging.
The phone lagging. Where are you? I don't know. How do I you know what?
It's hard to talk to somebody that's laying in bed with no shirt on.
I know. And I'm trying to figure out a way. How do you
Acting like Rico Suave.
but how do you take him off? There's no way to like cancel them.
Yeah. Yes, you can. You go to the top.
Where?
To the top, where you see the eye at, it has lines, and you see the 6 eyes and stuff. You go up there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Remove. Okay. Bye, buddy. Listen, I'm like you, Ricky. I'm not comfortable looking at some guy in a t-shirt, but I was more interested in knowing whether or not that was the.
Yeah, Ricky was looking down the whole time.
But I wanted to know if he was the. But I think he's the guy that scanned my account.
He probably is. He really was saying, nigga, but like, really, you were trying to say, get my account back. Like, that's my account now.
Yeah.
And you probably would have asked me not to get it back sometimes.
He probably couldn't believe it. But listen, I timed it like so that he was sleeping. That's how I was able to get the account. You know. Let me see. Like, you know what? I'm gonna look him up on my other web page, and if he does Bitcoin, then I know it's him.
You buy Bitcoin now?
Yeah, he trying to sell Bitcoin.
I think that's it. I think he is the Bitcoin guy.
I'm gonna send $1,000 or whatever for Bitcoin.
Oh my god! Yeah, craziness. Let's see who Muskaka is. Gonna send some guys out to see him wherever he is. I'm gonna find him out.
Somebody looking at Jumanji or something.
Huh?
Somebody listening to Jumanji his drums or something. You ever hear that?
I think it might be him, bro. I think it might be him because he has like at one point he's like sitting at an office with a desk and shit.
Man, it looked like a tornado went through that warehouse, bro.
I'm just waiting for or maybe he is me? No. Well, I am ready, but I'm not ready.
I think you might be worse than me. I know I wait for the last minute to do something.
Oh no.
You're gonna be going to the airport. You were like, oh, I got this house. I got this.
I gotta go get my passport. The day off.
I have the day thing. But you know what? I think this guy just likes guys. Because I'm looking at his profile, which is nothing wrong. Hey, it's totally cool. You know what I mean?
Only one person on here with a haircut.
No, because I'm looking at his Instagram and there's no Bitcoin, but there's a lot of pictures of him like real close up with men and he's got like hearts next to it and stuff. So I don't know. One could only.
No, you know.
Yeah. Well, real talk. Only a guy that likes guys would go on a live stream in a shirt and stuff like that. And so I'm happy for you. And you know what I mean? I hope you find someone special. But this is not the place for that. We're here to talk about Seamoss. Right?
He was trying to holler.
I know. He was like, "Oh, look at that guy. He's cute. Look, 3 strong black men." I think he just found him on us on a random thing. And maybe some people added him. Like when the hacker got into my account, you know? Yeah.
Oh, man.
The hacker, he was probably like flirting with him or something like that. And that's why the guy was like, "Ooh, look," you know?
He probably trying to see where his money at.
He's like, I gave you money, I loved
See where
you.
his money at. I take the money.
He said you gathered like 2,500.
Oh, fuck. He even rubbed his hair back too. He's like, hey, what's up, brother? Hey.
He said, well, I thought he had like a little flower on his chest or some shit.
I ain't even looked at it. I can't look at it.
Ricky was looking down the whole time, man. Who this guy is?
Bro, you got no shirt on. You know you're alive with no shirt on. Like, what do you want to say?
I know. Sexy boy. Oh, sexy boy. Oh, man.
Oh, man. This is hilarious.
As soon as he came over, he was like,
Yeah. Like, oh, shit. Not one of these. It's like, what is this? Oh, shit.
no, that ain't him.
Well, you know what's funny? I don't know if that's him, but that looks like one of his partners or something.
But it's crazy because it's crazy because everybody, I guess, was thinking the same thing. Like, man, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Let me tell you, that brings me to the story about this weekend. This actually goes hand in hand with this too. This is hilarious. So I'm going to, I'm at my homeboy house and we're waiting for the fight to come on, the David Haney and Kambosa fight. So we wait and it's taking forever. So we like, man, let's go to the bar real quick. So we like, all right, man, let's go to the bar. So like, he stays in downtown Atlanta, so we go around the corner to a bar. Like he said, he's been there a few times. You know where this is going, right? So we hit the bar, right? And I'm not thinking anything of it because there's a couple that's like right next to us. So, you know, they're eating everything. So, you know, we go in. I'm like, okay, we get our regular Moscow Mule. And so my homeboy talking about, yeah, last time I got a Moscow Mule here, man, I was drunk and I don't know what, I was throwing up and everything. I'm like, oh. So we sit there for about a good 15-20 minutes. And next thing you know, I'm looking halfway through my drink and then we hear this song coming out the back because they got playing karaoke in the back. And so they were playing like a lot of rock music, which I don't mind because I'm just drinking. So I go back. But the next thing you know, we hear, meet him at the gay bar, meet him at the gay bar. We were just standing there like we were just sitting there like, what? Did you just hear that? And then it was the gay bar. And I'm like, oh shit. And we look at each other, we're like, check please. Cash us out.
I'd have jumped out the window.
Hey, man, we looked at each other,
So, bro, I'm confused as to what's going on here. So it looks like sorry to cut you off in the story, but it looks like his boyfriend is, both of them are trying to request online. I'm not letting them on. Like, listen, you got me once. Like, this is a Seamoss show. We're here to talk about Seamoss. Okay? This is not what do they call it? Grinder? This is,
I don't trust that, man. try to scam us when they get on here.
Yeah.
That's it.
I bet you ain't gonna go get no more food from that place.
So it's peace and love. Please DM me. I need a special request, Ray.
Who is that? Hold on. Let me see who that is.
Yeah, double check that, bro, because you know you can't trust these guys nowadays with this stuff. What's up? All right, man. Thanks for coming out. See you tomorrow. Well, I'll be here tomorrow if you want to come by. You can. It's up to you, but thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Actually, can you do me a favor? Can you leave me like a nug? Yeah, because I don't. I just realized I don't have anything yet. Might want to roll something to smoke later. Have you still stopped smoking, Rick?
I relapsed a couple times.
That's my boy.
When I need to get in my zone, I relapse.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know what happens one time.
I relapse probably about once every week to 2 weeks.
So, guys, check it out. My daughter just joined the screen, and she's like, "You're back," because she knows what's been going on this whole time. She's like, because she's been watching.
So you're really in there trying to time out your hacker.
Bro, listen.
He's like, okay, you go to sleep at 6:05. Boom.
Yep. Listen, like, trust me, I am that guy. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to like doing special ops, or you know what I mean, like, bro, I'll hide in a bush for 3 days and be like, kind of thing. Like, yeah, man. Like, and I was trolling him hard, like every day. I was just laughing because I was trolling him so bad. Crazy. You there, or did you freeze?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
The person just messaged me. I was like, no, we're not talking about you. We're talking about some other people. But
These guys. Oh, Yusuf's back. No, you can't join. But I wonder what these guys want. You know what I mean? These hackers. Well, I think they left. They're not watching the video anymore. So.
Yeah, like that. I believe they really got some. They was some. Yeah.
No, bro, we were like.
It's like they get on the live and then they're able to backdoor you.
I could see that happening, but no, we were straight up developing like a friendship. Like, I was like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? How's your day going? Are you ready to let me in the account? Send me the code." He's like, "I just sent you the code." Really? Send the code again. Like, the amount of times I had this guy sending me the code, it was like every 2 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, I got the code. All right, hold on a second. And in like 5 hours, I would just ignore him. And he'd be like, "Buddy, are you gonna send the code? Where's the code? Where's the code?" And then I'd be like, oh, and I would act completely stupid, like I had no idea what he was talking about. I'm like, oh, that, okay. Well, I just got a message from Facebook. Were you trying to get into my account? He's like, yes, send me the code.
Hello, John.
Yeah?
I see my cousin in there.
I'm going to tell the guy, tell me yes or no. Did you hack my account? Because if he hacked my account, right, I'll for sure bring him back on. Shirt or not shirt. I don't give a fuck. I want to know. I want to get inside this guy's mind. You know what I mean?
Like you want to know how he's acting like he do.
Oh, I know how he hacked me. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, what is your end game? Like, what is your like? Do you actually make money doing this? Like, how much do you really make? You know, because it's a lot of work to do what he did.
$100 over there, probably
Huh? Yeah, like $100 is 1,000 for them.
$1,000 over there, probably a lot.
Probably. But what's crazy, right?
I don't know why my head's not working.
What's crazy is like you're expending so much energy to acquire this thing, and if you put your energy into something else, you know what I mean? Like, imagine what you could do. Imagine you put your energy into a drop shipping site and you started selling products or something like that, and you had to message people and do all this other shit. Like, how good would you be on that? You know what I mean? Like, I always say that. Like, think about that, because when I was younger, I'll tell you a crazy story about me. This is something people don't realize, but I used to be like this dude. Like, how do I put it? Like, I was like the local fencer. Like, you wanted like stolen laptop, you wanted like camcorder, whatever. Like, I knew all the guys that were boosting shit, right? And they would always come to me, especially if it was computer gear. Like, I had one buddy who was like almost like my best friend. This guy would go out and boost like at least 10 to 15 laptops a day. He would get dressed in a suit. You know what I mean? Like, suit and tie and everything, and he would peruse the business parks in the north end of the city at 5 o'clock, waiting for people to slip and not pay attention. And then he would come in, and people would just not know. They think he was working there, or that he was like a technician or something. He would have like a lane nerd with like a little fake card on. It was like crazy what he would do. And fuck, what was the point of me telling this story? Oh, this is the point of me telling the story. So I was selling these laptops and making decent money and stuff. And then one day this dude came in, and I was trying to sell the laptop. And if you know anything about fencing stuff, it's like 1/3 of the value is what they sell it for. So they were, this guy, I think I wanted, say, 500 for the computer. And he's like, why should I pay 500 where this store is selling it for 350? And it's legitimate. It's not stolen. So why is yours so much more money? And I looked at it and I was like, what? Like, you can get computer. And so I looked into it and I found this whole new industry of like surplus items and liquidation shit and stuff off lease and stuff like that. And I realized, I was like, you know what? If I put the same amount of energy into this as I do into fencing this stolen stuff, I can make a good penny. And that's what I did. I started a computer store and I was selling stuff offline. This was like 2000, 2002, like between that time. Like back when no one was buying stuff off e-commerce and shit like that. Like Amazon barely even existed. Back then they still had Yahoo. You remember Yahoo?
Yeah, and Yahoo. What it was called? Like Yahoo. It was like the biggest bidding site at the time. Yahoo was.
Yeah, there was Yahoo, and there was Expedia, and then there was
PayPal
like
just came out.
Exactly. So I was doing that stuff then, and I realized, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can make more money selling the surplus stuff. And so I stopped selling, stolen items. That was kind of like the day I was like, yeah, this is not, like, it's not worth the risk and the potential jail time when I can put this same energy into businesses and be legit. And that's what I focused on, was just learning how to start and build businesses. And another thing I realized is that a business is really just what's in your mind. Like, if you don't believe that you have a business, then you don't have a business. Yeah. So it's almost like no one's going to come and tell you have a business. You have to tell people that you have a business,
During that time, I think I was making bootleg games.
Hell yeah.
PlayStation, Dreamcast, I was making bootleg games back then.
I remember that on the DVD writers,
Yeah.
I was selling them too.
Make the bootleg game.
I was running online servers where I use my computer as a way to serve files. And so people, I would host those same games that you would download, and I would make it so that you had to fill out some kind of like form or something where I would get $1 off each form that you get, and you would get a password, and then that password would give you access to all the files that I had in my server.
Yeah, they used to make you join clubs and stuff to get it at first too.
Mm-hmm. That's what this was back when you used to like dial up to get into the internet before broadband. I remember when broadband happened. That was like, you know what I mean? It was like, what? No dialing up. It's constant. I don't have to like tie up my phone line. Like, get off the phone, dude. I was like a nighthawk because I couldn't use the computer till after 11 o'clock when everybody was sleeping, and so I would be up from 11 o'clock till 6 a.m. downloading shit, you know?
It used to take hours to download 400 megabytes.
Yes.
Bro, it used to take hours, man, to
Days.
download 400 megabytes. Now it takes less than a minute.
Yeah, crazy.
Man.
That's why I started thinking about how long you wait to download something.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Bro, a game I used to download was a gigabyte. You know how long that used to take? That shit used to take days to download.
Days.
And then I used to get it. It used to take a long time for me to copy it to a DVD. And then I had to burn an image on the computer so I could keep copying the same game.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to keep redoing it.
Yeah.
I never bought games from the store during that time, man.
No. It's all downloaded. No, I remember those days. Back in the Napster. Because I remember I used to sell the DVDs because I worked at a computer store. And then I started my own computer store. And back then you could get a DVD writer that did 2 times or 4 times. And then when they came out with the 16 time, that was huge. Like 16 times, it's like, oh, I can do a DVD in 20 minutes. It's like, wow.
Got it going. All of them going.
Yeah. No one even knows what a CD writer is anymore. Like if I talk to my kids about a CD writer, they'd be like, what? Like you can write to CDs? Like, you know? You could bake 3 cakes waiting for it to download. Facts. Oh,
Man,
shit.
you know how long that used to take though, man? Oh my goodness.
Yep. Those were the days, bro. No more.
Right now I can download 3 gigabytes in a few minutes.
Well, look at that 5G shit that they have, you know?
Yeah, because my phone right now, my phone got 500 gigabytes, which ain't nothing because I filled that up already.
Mm-hmm. So. Can you believe this guy is still trying to, like, join in on the conversation? Oh, no, he's gone now. He's gone.
That's probably the motherfucker who had a good count.
Pretty boy. I think it is. But he wouldn't tell me, and I was a little disappointed. I was hoping that he would have said yes and that we could have interviewed him. You know? Get into the mind of a hacker. You know? Bro, listen, you know when people used to crank call you, right? People used to crank call me, and I would troll them so bad and for so long that they would end up breaking character, and we'd end up talking on the phone, and I'd figure out who it was. Like that's how, like that's the level of patience that I have. That I would keep the thing going on while they're talking, and I'd be like, yeah, and whatever, and then I would just chip it away slowly. And then after a while, like after an hour of talking, they would just kind of like be like, yeah, it's so and so, and then be like, well, why'd you do this? Oh, I was bored. Usually it was a girl. Always girls would crank call me when I was younger.
You'll be getting the calls right now for the insurance and a Medicare and in the credit card.
I get air duct. That's who calls me air ducts every fucking day.
Man, I get the same callers all the time, man. Every day they call me about something. It's always fake because I can hit a Google. I can hit a Google little when it connects. They're using a Google phone. I can hit when it connects.
Oh, when they join.
Talking about the IRS and Social Security has been canceled.
Crazy.
The Social Security number's been canceled.
It's like, oh no, really?
I'm like, damn, when the IRS get phone number, you can't call them.
You're crazy.
When they started calling people direct like that, they gonna send you a letter if you owe money. They ain't calling you. They sending you a letter.
Okay,
They
dude.
sending you a letter, or they just pulling it out your account.
I'm sorry. Curiosity is killing me. I gotta ask him. Is he there? He's gone. He's not there. Okay, because he was there for a second. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, this guy has to be the Pat. Like, why would you keep coming back? Like, he's probably like shocked. Like, oh my god, the guy got it back. How did he get my?
He probably going like you was like, hold on.
Block both of their
Yeah. Well, he probably like started looking at my pictures and he's like, oh, pretty boy, pretty black guy. You know, maybe I can get him to buy some Bitcoin.
Something about buying Bitcoin, you can make 20,000 in a day. I was like, man, Bitcoin.
Bro, they call me every day. Well, not every day. They call me about twice a week. The what do they call them? The financial experts. And so,
Imagine how many people they get though.
well, I think they do. They have to get like, I think it's like 1 every 500 they get someone, but that's all they need is one person. Do you know what I mean?
They go off the numbers.
Yeah.
They go like they figure if they send 5,000 messages out.
They get 100 people for $100. That's good. Yeah. You just made a whole year's worth of pay.
There you go. That's it.
That's all you need to make money. 100 people, $100. You just made some good money.
Bam.
They go directly off the numbers. Like, man, how many people can I send this out to? That's really the basis of it. Like, if I can send it out to 200,000 people, my day is good.
Yeah, they probably can get 100 people. Yeah, if they can get 1,000 people, they good. They real good if they can get 1,000 people for 100.
Yeah.
So I keep thinking he's back. I'm like, let me sign. I just want to, I'm so inquisitive like that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you just can't let it go. Like,
I can't. I literally cannot let it go. You know what I mean? But I'm just so happy I got it back. You know? It's like, Julien, you still got it. You know? Because if I didn't get it back, I'd be like, okay, maybe you're slipping a little, you don't have that same tenacity like you used to have. You know?
This ain't what they call it.
What? Oh. Did my phone die? Oh, man. That's what happened. Phone died. Bumba. Let's see if I can get him. Hey, what's up, Mr. O? Good. I was fine until my device started. It died, unfortunately.
I need a favor.
Yeah, what's the favor?
I need you talk about how to sell Seamoss in 10 seconds?
You need me to talk about how to sell what?
Sell Seamoss in imagine you met someone who doesn't know what Seamoss is,
Okay.
or someone who's heard good things about Seamoss, and how do you sell it to them in 10 seconds without rambling on and on and on?
See, that's hard for me to really answer that question, mainly because for me, that kind of skill is something I just do on the fly. And so to say to someone, how do I do this? I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Do you know what I mean? And so it would all even depend on the approach on how that person talked to me. Like you would have to create a scenario for me to say, okay, this, in this scenario, this is what I would do, or this is how I would respond. But like, are you selling the person on buying CMOS to take personally? Is it for a business?
I've just found myself in scenarios where either people read my profile or they've heard about Seamoss and they invite me to to talk about it, tell us about it, sell it to us. But you can always tell when you've connected with someone, and it's interesting. I don't know that to research everything there is about Seamoss and pack it in. I'm just curious how people do it, and this is not just to you, but to your own listeners. How to sell Seamoss in 10 seconds.
I usually ask them if they've heard about it. And then I usually say, like, this is, a sea algae. I just to go in and describe it. It's a sea algae that comes from the water. It is packed through nutrients. It's the new superfood. It's like the next kale, the next goji berry. People that take it have had, you know, um, profound effects. This is what I've experienced taking it. You make it into a gel and you consume it this much a day. And that's usually what I go in like about 10 seconds. You mean, in any sort of pitch, right? You have to give enough information to lead them into wanting more, or asking for more. And so you don't get too, you have to be very like light surface about what it is. Because afterwards, then you can turn around and say, they will ask you the follow-up questions. And it's the follow-up questions that you know what I mean, you kind of like, you'll go in more detail or more depth. Do you know what I mean? You there?
Yeah, so sorry, I was trying to capture what you just said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear from other people how they go about it. But thank you so much for that.
No problem. Hey, Yusuf, I know you don't really sell CMOS, but if you were to sell CMOS, how would you sell CMOS, or how would you explain, um, someone CMOS in say 10 seconds?
Oh, see more for 10 seconds. As far as like what it does, or you mean like how it be? I mean, what you mean as far as if I'm trying to sell it?
Like, yeah, what it does and why someone should take it. Like, what, like if I've never tried CMOS before, how would you convince me to not only take it but to put money and purchase it?
To be honest, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like I can't explain because I'm not like a face to face person. But if I was to sell it on a website, it'd be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a website you had to read, if you would have to read something. I would explain, where it came from. As far as it's been washed twice, 3 times, and sun dried the kids and sea salt. Like I would explain a lot of different stuff to make it sound good. I would explain, the minerals and how to do it. Like I would go really deep into it, and I also would recommend books and different things like that. So to make people comfortable with it, you offer them free information, PDFs and things, just like I do to people right now. And I thought, like, oh, I got PDFs for this. So, I would do the same thing on a website, but face to face, I can't do it. My brother can. My brother say your own blanket back to you. Yeah.
What, like your actual brother, like your blood brother?
Yeah, my blood brother. He'll say car with no doors on it.
Come with what?
He'll say a vehicle with no doors.
Oh, he'll sell you a vehicle with no door. Yeah, I'm like that kind of guy too. It's like you gotta have it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's hard to explain how you do it. You just know how to do it. And a lot of times doing it, it just takes practice. Do you know what I mean? Like Oscar, if you were to try and speak to 20 people and pitch the idea to them, by the time you got to the 20th person, you would have honed your skills and got a lot better than what you did in the first time. And
yeah, but it's getting started that I want to get started, so I'm looking for that guidance, how you do it, how someone else does it, so that you get an idea of how to go about it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Would
Like,
you mind repeating what you just said, how you go about it?
okay, so
you should write it down, like everything that you want to say and explain about it. It should be written down, like everything about it, and then from there you should like shorten it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you write everything down about the product, and then see how long that is, and then you kind of shorten it for people to kind of, so you get through it in 10 minutes, boom. But that selling stuff to me is hard, like face to face. I think that's the hardest thing to do.
But one of the things I was thinking in my head too is, like, as you were saying, it's like if you're having a hard time selling it, it's because you don't know the product enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could sell it in my sleep because I know the product so much that, like, depending on like, I could tell you what to say, and you could be in a different environment where what I'm telling you what to say doesn't apply because I can't give you the information.
Confidence,
yeah, and you can only get that through practice, but by failing, or not even trying to fail, or by failing, but by not being afraid if you fail. So making the attempt, knowing that there is a good chance you could screw up, but the reality is you don't know if you screw up because you haven't tried it yet. So you need to try it a few times to know where you really stand and what is really going on. And then when you do that, you then see where to adjust and how. Do you know what I mean? Like how you're even like in a totally different country. How they speak in that country is completely different to how I would speak in my country. Like, I talk to St. Lucians differently than I would talk to Canadians.
I'm curious to know how you sell to St. Lucians and how you sell to Canadians. If you
Practice.
like to
Practice.
Yeah.
Practice. It's like jumping in a pool. You know what I mean? And not like, here's the thing. You never knew how to walk, but you learned how to walk. How did you learn how to walk? You just tried it.
No, actually, by watching, by listening, then trying it yourself.
Yeah, but most of it is trying. You can walk and listen and do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, how I get up and stand up on the table is going to be different than how you get up and stand up on the table. And I think, you could ask me for this stuff, but I really think, like, I know you well enough. We've had a few conversations. You're a smart guy. Do you know what I'm saying? The only reason why you think you don't know what to say is because you've convinced yourself that you don't know what to say. But I believe that you know what to say. You know what I mean? And I believe that you'll know what to say when it's time to actually say it. You know what I mean? And if you don't, a few times of you doing it, you'll pick it up and learn it. But I get what you're saying. Like, sometimes it's good to ask.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm really not in a bad place per se. I'm just sort of like collecting how people do it, just to try different ways of doing it. That's just what I was interested in.
Okay.
Getting to learn.
Well, my advice then is to learn as much as you can about the product, and then just be natural about it. Because that's exactly what I do. And not just in CMOS, but anything. I learn so much about it that it's almost like I could talk about it in my sleep. You know what I mean? You could hit me over the head, and I'd be half out of it, and I could still talk to you about CMOS. That's how much, you know what I mean? And so you need to get to that sort of level of comprehension. And then when you go to speak to someone about it, it's just simple. That's why in some ways I say to you, like, I don't know how to say it, because every time I speak to someone, it's a different way that I approach it. Because there's not one right way to consistently do it. There's a certain, I guess, strategy about it, but that strategy is, this is applied to every single thing. And that is, talk about the product. Why is it good for you? How does it benefit you? And what could happen if you don't take it? That's that could be a good starting point. Those 3 points there. Talk about what it is, talk about why it's beneficial for you, and talk about what could happen if you don't take it. We're so quiet tonight. Did I do something today? Is it my tone of voice? Do I need to smoke a joint? Yeah.
No, I almost thought you got hacked again.
Huh?
I said I almost thought you got hacked again.
I'm waiting for Buddy to come back again to say to see him and his. So what's funny is when he came up on the screen, I saw him, and then another dude came in, and when I saw the guy's profile, I'm like, wait a minute, I saw that guy. They were like hugging their boyfriend and girlfriend. I saw them hugging on the other guy's profile. Seriously, dude. This is why I'm like, oh my god, are these the gay lover hackers, like, for real? Like, that's a thing? Oh my god, I gotta watch it out. I don't want
What happened to your account? Just now, because it cut off.
No, you know what happened? My phone died.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm back on it. Yeah, I'm so happy. Got scared for a second. I was like, no, they shut down my phone, you know?
No.
But no, the phone died. And it was crazy because I was charging it, and but whatever. I'll invite Sherry to speak. Hey, what's up, Sherry? Let me know if you have any questions about CMOS.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. No, I actually don't have any questions about CMOS. I take CMOS every day.
Oh, awesome. Is there anything you want to talk about, CMOS?
Oh, but this is my first time.
What you get?
This is my first time joining a room. I've never joined.
Nice. Well, thank you for letting us what is it? Pop your, I guess, your clubhouse cherry. I don't know what you would call it. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll take that as a thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I mean, it is the best room to come into. We're very, I guess, open and friendly, and you know what I mean. It's a safe space to talk about anything CMOS, and even just share ideas. If you have a CMOS business, you know, you can talk about your CMOS business, and just even like.
Oh yes, I actually do have a CMOS business.
Cool.
I actually started it 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I started it 2 years ago. It was something that I started. You know, I call it a blessing because it wasn't definitely something that I intended to start.
Mm-hmm.
I just really had started doing a lot of research on, you know, more natural ways to combat certain things as far as like, you know, digestion and high blood pressure. And CMOS was one of those things came up along with some other herbs. So, you know, I started taking those regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I was buying CMOS from this guy who was like selling it for like $40 a jar.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I bought it the first time because I was like, yeah, I got to have this because I really want to, you know, try it out. And, you know, I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to spend $40 a month.
Yeah, but I mean, was it a good jar? Was it a good CMOS, and were you happy with the results?
I mean, it was a good jar. It was a good CMOS. I just was still just kind of like, you know, how can I go about, you know, buying it and doing it myself?
Yeah.
Just for my own, you know, for myself, just for me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have any intentions on making it and, you know, trying to sell to other people. I just was making it for myself.
Yeah, to save money because you didn't want to spend all that money.
You know, to save money, especially, you know, it was still very early on in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I was making it for myself. Then, you know, talking to friends, talking to family. You know, telling them how good it was, you know, just for my body. Oh, can you make me some? Can you make me some? Can you make me some? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I got you.
Yeah, no problem. And from there, it kind of was like, oh, well, can you make something for my friend? Or can you make something for this person? Okay, and I'm like, and before I knew it, I had a business.
Yeah. Well, then you got to start charging money, or else it's like, you know, you can't be doing this for free. You're in the kitchen all day, you know.
Right. So that's when I started. You know, I attached the price to it. Nothing, you know, nothing too astronomically high, but you know. Mm-hmm. But I still, you know, I'm all about our people being healthy.
True. That's good. It was, you know, I appreciate your generosity to share that with other people, you know what I mean, and not charge them too much or try to make it affordable. Yeah, man.
Julien?
Yes.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, of course.
Sherry, I'm curious how you'd sell CMOS in 10 seconds to someone who may not have heard about it or maybe just heard about it in person.
Well, from what I've learned is a lot of people, they've either heard about it or, you know, read about it but didn't know where or how to get it, or, you know, or was kind of, you know, skeptical about getting it from a certain source because they don't know too much about it or the person who's selling it. And so just for me, you know, like I said, it started for family and friends for me. And it kind of just went word of mouth. You know, family, friends, when I was making for myself. My mom had me make some for her husband. And my sister, she started taking it when she had COVID. So I just was making it. And then people were loving the results and how well they were starting to feel just based off of that, and was sharing with other people. And it just kind of grew from there, just from their experience. But, you know, I tell people all the time, to do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Do your own research, just as I did. I did all my own research first. I looked it up. I looked into it. I looked through different sources of people were getting it from here, there. I had some trial and errors. Got some that was way too salty one time, and that's definitely not good for a person like me who has high blood pressure and was using it to combat high blood pressure. That didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So that's just kind of how that went for me.
I found that telling people to, I also do that, but that doesn't sometimes work out too well. I think I found that I think people need a lot of information packed in a small package.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that also. I did do like a little, when I started selling to more people as I would, learn more information. I ended up making my own little pamphlet with just information about, Seamoss and the different minerals and all the things in it, what it's good for, the different ways you can use it. So I just made like a pamphlet, and I would attach resources in it, like websites, and people could go to the websites themselves and just look. Do it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's one thing I was going to say, make a pamphlet with all the information in it. A small pamphlet.
Yeah,
so that was
that may work well. A poster of sorts, which you could send via WhatsApp or something.
Myself. And that's what people have to do. If you want to do something, you're trying to better yourself, better your health, and you're skeptical about something you're not too sure, do your own research.
Facts. The more you know, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. I'm a firm believer in that.
Totally. So what part of the country are you from, Sherry?
I actually live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, nice.
I was born and raised here.
Nice. So is that far from Atlanta, or?
I am in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So you said some other town, so I don't like. How do you say it?
I think she said Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, did you say Atlanta? I thought you said some other town.
Atlanta, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
She just said it fast.
Y'all gotta excuse my southern side.
Yeah, I totally did not understand. And
you have to excuse the accent. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She pronounced it all in one thing. That's
all I heard was Georgia, and I'm one of those people where it's like.
It's funny, I didn't heard it perfectly clear.
I didn't hear it at all.
Like, really, what part?
Yeah, I didn't hear it at all. I didn't understand nothing. That was funny. Yeah, man.
What about you guys? Where you from?
I'm from Toronto, Canada. Ricky here, he's from Atlanta.
I thought Ricky was from Mississippi.
Well, okay, lives in Atlanta. Is that better?
No, I'm serious. Ricky from Mississippi, though, huh? No.
Are you from Mississippi, Rick, or Ohio or something?
No, I'm from Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. That was it.
Well, Iowa, I ain't nothing up there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm from New Orleans.
Okay.
I'm from Kenya in East Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. O or Oscar, he deals with the Seamoss farm from Africa, Kenya, and other herbs too, right? You can get other stuff. Yeah, I think you can get other stuff.
Do you sell Africana? What what's it called? Cagelia africana.
What is that?
It's a fruit called, I think, Cagelia africana.
Does it have a more common name?
Sausage fruit.
Yeah, sausage fruit. Yeah, we have those. A long fruit with long stem, sort of dangling down the tree.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wanted to know if do y'all sell it?
Yeah, sure, I could get it for you. If you want.
Okay. Because I be looking for the powder. I be looking for the powder to consume. I know they have to prepare it a certain type of way. Most likely they have to bake it, dry it out, or something like that.
What we could do is we could get the fruit, then we do it over video, prepare this to make sure that we have it the way you want it, and then ship it out to you.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's the beauty of the internet. It's made things, world is up, a global village, so to say. Mm-hmm. And yes, Julien, you're right. We cultivate Seamoss here. We have the Cotonie and the Spinosa varieties. So we have farmers, local, mostly it's done by local village natives. I'm looking to have it started in an island. If you look at my profile picture, it's a beautiful island. Julien, you should come visit. Edward, welcome, please. If we get that started, I think that would be a milestone.
Yeah, it looks pretty there. The sunset. Yeah, man. I do want to go to Africa soon. I'm looking at probably going to Ghana maybe next year. Or maybe, I don't know. Next time my pastor goes, I think I'm going to go there and spend like maybe 2 weeks with him.
Everyone seems to be going to Ghana.
Yeah.
Their government is giving incentives, citizenship and all. A beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm open to trying other countries, but it's mainly Ghana because that's where he's from, and that's where they're building their like orphanage and Bible study center. Like they're building some building where they're going to, like people from Canada can come there and study and do missionary work and stuff like that. And I ultimately see that my journey is going to be putting me in like a sort of like missionary / evangelist position where I'll go out and basically help people less fortunate than me. That's where I kind of see the direction of my life. Like I'd like to make enough money so that I can just travel and do those things. Go out and build houses for people and shit. Even in St. Lucia, like the amount of people that are homeless and stuff. There's this guy, actually, I got to see if he's still there, but I want to see if I can try and do something for this guy to kind of change his life. He's a homeless guy in Beaufort, and he walks around with a bum leg. I bet you by now his leg is amputated, because when I seen it, his foot was all swollen and abscessed and everything. And my dad told me that the reason why he got that was because he was robbing someone and they shot him in the foot. And so to him, my dad was kind of like, this guy's a rude guy. He's this, and that. I don't have, kind of like, I have no respect for him. He deserved what he got, you know what I mean, because of what he did and stuff like that. And, maybe that's true, right? But at a certain point, I feel like, like you don't endure a lifetime of endless punishment. At a certain point, you understand the mistakes and the wrong decisions that you made. You know what I mean? people need to have opportunities so that they can sort of change their ways. If they're stuck in that, like if you just can't punish someone forever. I don't believe that. If that's the case, you might as well just kill him, end his life. Why is he staying alive to endure that? So I don't know. I like to see if there's a way to help the guy, whether build a home for him or I don't know. It'd probably be something like that. I can't see him. How do you say it? I wouldn't give him money or anything like that. That's something I don't do. All these pictures look cool.
Yeah, that's the island. It's called Kirepon. To imagine that's the
And these are the kids from the school that are doing the singing and stuff.
And they they study in those metal classes. The classes are breaking. They're falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talked about construction, that's something looking to do it. Improve livelihoods. I was there. That was my first time there, and I was donating moringa seeds. Hopefully, to start when they grow, it could be a school feeding program to encourage them to go to school.
Yeah.
And if the Seamoss takes off, improve livelihoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the Seamoss?
Well, get them cultivating, then get it out there to the market.
Have you started cultivating yet?
A mapping has to be done. Site suitability by the relevant authorities. I have approached them asking. But I'm sure in Africa things are done a bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might take more than just a word of mouth or persuasion. So once that is done, and then we do test trials, the community is very excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So once cultivation is done, then we get the product. Then
because one of the things that I'm I guess kind of studying and learning, and it's funny now that you say this and we're talking about this, is that I'm learning how to design and build Seamoss farms. And if you remember me speaking earlier, that I feel like I'm in an evangelist capability. Fuck, I'm gonna have a moment here. I'm now beginning to realize that I think my true evangelist, like my reasoning, is to travel the world and teach people how to build and develop Seamoss farms so that they can create sustainable incomes for themselves.
This is a golden opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I think that's my purpose. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I think that's a beautiful idea. I think that's beautiful because people don't know. There's so many people that don't know at all. The benefits of Seamoss itself, the benefits of I wish I knew how to grow it.
Yeah.
If I was somewhere on an island on water, I definitely would grow and cultivate my own Seamoss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's really not that difficult. And as I'm saying it, it's kind of like, in some ways, there's not many people that could be as qualified as I am to be able to not only show people how to set up and build the farms, but how to sell and market, how to ship, how to get online, how to do all that stuff. Like even what like Ostrich like saying about how to do the elevator pitch. Like in reality, he's putting me on the spot. But if I had time to prepare for it, I could teach a lesson and explain to you how to develop a good elevator pitch. Do you know what I mean? It's really not rocket science. It's really just practice. Right? But like if you know the certain fundamentals on the sort of like the parameters of where you need to sort of stick into, it's easy to quickly apply it. You know what I mean? And so I think that's something I need to focus on in the next like year or two is not only just how to build these CMOS farms, but how do I get into government's faces and start talking to them and pressure them? Because a lot of times, you know, people that are in a certain country, it's hard for them to have the sort of I don't know how to put it, but it's almost like sometimes someone coming in from another country and speaking holds more weight to a government official than someone in their own country, whether it's right or wrong. You know what I mean? They'll listen to someone who they think is an expert. You know what I mean? And if I can learn to become that expert, and if I can learn to like how to access these financing and the money, I can almost just come in and walk into a government's office and tell them this is how like, and I wouldn't feel any way to doing that. You know what I mean? To come in and be like, this is how we do it, this is how we're doing, blah blah blah, and let's go.
Absolutely, because like the people, you have to think the people who they think are experts started the exact same way. Mm-hmm. You know, what I mean, trial and error research. It's the same thing. You know, it's just harder for people of color.
Yeah.
It's just harder for us, and it's a sad reality, but it's a reality. You know, it's harder for us, but we do all. I mean, but we do things 10 times better. Like I just believe we do.
Yeah, but is it really harder? Or do we okay, so let's bear in mind, okay, I'm going to make this clear. I'm not an American, and I'm beginning to realize that the experiences that Americans experience is greatly different than what I experience. I just want to put that out there. I understand that. But like in my life, I don't, a lot of the times where I saw people being upset and sort of blaming it on a racial thing, it was more about them personally. Like they weren't, you know, they didn't have the right personality, or they didn't study enough and do the work. And you know what I mean? Like life's a game. And it's like a lot of it is about knowing the rules and playing the game better. And you can't get upset if someone's playing it, you know, and they stack the chips in their favor. It's almost like we need to huddle together and stack the chips in our favor. There's nothing to say that we can't do it. But
and that's true. That's true as well.
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying as far as, you know, like you said, you're not an American. Mm-hmm. But for, you know,
well, go ahead.
Americans, it just all depends. It all depends because it could be a race thing. It could be a person. I just don't like you, and I just don't like the way you presented yourself. It just all depends. Mm-hmm. Because it's no different than saying, "Hey, I'm going for this job, and I'm presenting myself this way." Say, for instance, you could be doing a phone interview, and they may not know what color you are or whatever. You could be black, white, green, yellow. Uh-huh. They don't even know, but you're just as qualified as this person. But however, they end up getting this job because of a different reason why you did it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was just something that you made it. That you might not have said the right thing. You might not have answered the question right. The way you spoke, how your personality came through the phone. Yeah. You don't know.
That might not have been just for you.
That might not have been just for you. Absolutely.
Yeah, the universe
might. So I completely understand, you know, what you're saying as well, because that's a factor too. You know, everything is not always a race thing, but sometimes it is.
Yeah. But I say this, whether it's a race thing or not, rather than sit there and cry and say, "Oh, we need to lever the race," you know what I mean? To me, it's like, guys, let's huddle together. Let's fucking put our shit together and let's beat these fuckers. That's my sort of mindset. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, we need to put our minds together and work harder. You know what I mean? Like, why are there no more black politicians? Why are there more, you know what I mean? These guys. I honestly don't even, like, I don't want to be criticizing, but I feel that there's more that black people can do to help each other than just say that we need it. Like, I see a lot of people saying that they want this, but when it comes down to actually doing it, they don't. You know what I mean?
You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
I read something just the other day that says that mental health issues is higher in people who live at home than than people who've moved out. I don't know whether it's that thing of parents stressing their kids or or what. But I think maybe when you get to a certain age, you move out. Now where I'm getting with this is that sometimes we don't know how powerful we are until we get out there, or we don't know how good we have it until we explore other places. I met a room of Black Americans who sell coffee in the US, and they are looking to come to Africa, make a documentary, connect, and all that. And such experiences will broaden your scope. Show you different markets, different experiences. Maybe if people are having it, hard somewhere, seek to maybe go over and beyond, explore, and you'll come to discover you're so powerful. That resource you have, your ability to speak English, your education as basic or as more as it is, your experiences there. When you come to places as humble as this, uplifting communities, sharing things, connections, making connections and all that, you find that if you spend time on things like this, positivity, a lot of that negativity just fades into the background. And Julien, just to get back to what you're saying, I'll echo back your words to you. Just go out there and do it. When you're talking about getting communities, cultivating seed like this island, maybe get to a company that uses Seamoss and tell them that you have this island in Kenya or in St.Lucian where you are looking to start Seamoss, and and maybe they give you the capital to do it. You never know, and you just come and do it, and from there that
capital to do what? To start the Seamoss?
To travel to do the Seamoss, to once you tell them that you have this thing that you have going, and even if you don't have it, if they ask you questions, what's up? Ask the questions, I'll answer. Yeah, if it's pictures, the site, everything, and maybe the best way of getting to do something is actually doing it, just like you said.
Oh yeah, no. That's, I think what's going to happen is and I don't want to be trying to predict the future, but I see what will probably happen is I'll build a farm or two for either for us or for some other people that I know, like very cheaply, just to get in the foot in the door. And then I can see it as being something where people will hire me to do that. And the money that I earn from that will be repurposed to do the like, I don't want to see charity work, but to help those that aren't able to find the money to do that stuff. And so I'm not even worried about like how the money is going to happen. I know the money will present itself when the time is ready for the money to present itself. Do you know what I mean? I think I just have to do a few tasks that are in front of my face now to prove that I'm ready and I'm serious about what I'm about to embark on. Because my experience is that you're always tested a few times to show your commitment and your resolve to what you're doing. But after this moment and like what I just experienced, and you couldn't really see, like, you'll have to go back and watch on the video, like just the emotion that I went through. I know in my life that emotion that I went through verifies that what I'm saying. It's almost like I said what I said, not me saying it, but through someone spoke through me. Do you get what I'm saying? And said, like, this is what's going to happen. And it was almost like, I know that. There's almost like no doubt in my mind. It's just a matter of like, when is this stuff going to put itself together?
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, thank you. And with that, I'm gonna just, you guys are gonna have to hold on a second. I gotta quickly run in my car because I have Instagram and it keeps dying on me because I know I don't have a proper charger, and I have a proper charger in my car. So if you two want to talk, you guys can talk, right? But I'm gonna be back in like 2 minutes. So, 1 sec.
So you're trying to yeah, go ahead.
No, after you. Sorry.
No, you fine. Go ahead.
Do you know anything about Seamoss cultivation? Have you ever seen pictures of the farms or?
So I do not know anything about Seamoss cultivation. I actually buy my raw from a lady who gets hers from St. Lucia.
Okay, would you like to maybe see pictures of the farm? Maybe a few short videos.
So yeah, she gets hers from she gets it from St. Lucia, and like it's I that was where I first got it from her, and it has been wonderful for me. Most of the people that I sell to, they like it. I did try some from Jamaica. I think I got it. Yeah, from Jamaica. They like it, but my customers, they didn't like that one at all. They liked the previous one, so I went back to the one that I was getting from the lady from St. Lucia.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, they didn't like it. Like I had got like a few complaints about it. They was like, yeah, it was, not as it was too grainy and too salty. That when I switched to the other one, it was too grainy, too salty. So they didn't.
Have you ever thought of making
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Have you considered value adding it more? Other products other than gel?
So I've considered doing because I do Seamoss. I also make my own elderberry. I do Seamoss. I also make my own elderberry syrup, and I also do my own fresh pressed juice. Cold pressed juices. I do those as well. But as far as like any other products with the Seamoss, because I know some people do the capsules and some people do gummies and all of that. For me, with doing the gummies, I think as we all know, once you add heat to anything, you lose some of the nutritional value. And in order for you to make anything a gummy, whether you use whatever you use to make it, you're gonna have to use some heat. And I would rather have more of the nutritional value in something than to have less of it just because I don't like the texture or taste.
But
that's just me.
But when you just like eat more gummies, then
I guess so. But yeah, for me, it's just like, I would just rather do my gel because
Okay.
But some people prefer the gummies and they do more gummies.
Yeah.
I do my gels, and most people that get order from me, they do their gel, or they'll ask me can I do them some cold pressed juice and just add it to their juice. I'll do that. It just all depends.
True.
Because I do have some people that prefer the gummies, and I will make them gummies because that's just their preference. But it's not something that I make regularly or really advertise, just because like I said, just the fact that you have to make any type of gummy, you have to use some type of heat. and you lose some of the value, some of the nutritional value when you add heat to anything.
Yeah, good point. But that, like, and that's why I kind of said the question was kind of like, oh, well, wouldn't you just
do more gummies?
Yeah, because if you lose some,
because you can. You can.
Mm-hmm.
You can do more gummies.
But yeah, I agree with you. To each his own. Sorry, I am going through my trying to fix my Instagram. There's a lot of follow requests. Oh, because the guy turned my account to private. So I don't know if you guys knew, but I got my account hacked. And for like the last week, there was a guy that was basically trying.
Which account was that? Instagram?
The Instagram account.
Yeah, mine has been hacked for what? I think 6 months now. I've tried to have it closed down.
Well, you know what you can do? You don't need to have it closed down. You can have it, like, you can take it back over. That's what I was able to do. I
I tried that over and over and over and over again. I think they have some complicated system that keeps taking it back.
So what happens is and this is what happened with me and how I was able to kind of get it, is you have to wait till they're sleeping. Because when they're up and you try to access their account, they get a message saying someone's trying to access an account. Because I did it during the day, and all of a sudden the guy, and I was talking to him at the same time, and all of a sudden they connected to me, and I logged in, and then as soon as I logged in, dude had he logged right back in, and then he kicked me out, which was like crazy. I was like, how did he do it? And that's where I figured out, okay, well, if he's up, that's how he can do it. Because I think they use these like computer bots or whatever. Because the guy was fast, like he was just like, you know what I mean? And then boom, bam, and all of a sudden, you know, they were they kicked me out. Like, it was pretty crazy. So
I don't mind having mine closed. I only wish I knew how. I've tried reaching out to Instagram, but don't close it down. So
yeah, that sucks. How much are you looking to buy? I think the one way too about making sales is you almost have to always be available. You know what I mean? Like, if this guy, like for me, like, you can pretty much message me up till like about 1 a.m. And if I'm up and I'm close to the phone, I'm answering it, and I'm selling you Seamoss. Like, I've sometimes sold more Seamoss after 8 o'clock at night than I do all day. And I kind of laugh sometimes because I'm like, these guys must be freaking out on the phone because they just messaged me thinking like, oh, the guy will get back to me in the morning. And I'm like, ping, ping. Yeah, I'm here. What's up? They're like, oh, you're around. Yeah. What do you need? You know what I mean? Yeah, you got this? Yeah, I got this. I'll ship it out tomorrow. Bam, bam. Sale done. You know? Like, like Oscar, you want to say, like, you asked me, like, how do you like sell more Seamoss? Convince people that you're the go-to guy. That, like, no matter what happens, you'll pick up your phone and be available. You know what I mean? Then you'll have people calling you, like, left, right, and center.
Yeah, that could work.
Because honestly, most of my customers, I truly believe they use me because of my service. Because they know that if they need Seamoss to go out the next morning, they can call me at 10 o'clock at night and I'll pick up the phone and I won't have an attitude. You know what I mean? And we'll do a deal. I'll work something out and shit. And you can be like, I need this to go out, as soon as possible. I'll be like, boom, no problem. That actually happened, I think, today. You know what I mean? The girl like messaged me at like 1 a.m. last night. Needed some CMOS to go out today. I sent her the CMOS like invoice at 1 a.m. Went to bed, woke up, she paid it. You know what I mean? Printed out the the packing thing, and she had said to me at that time, like when I was making the invoice, can you please like send it out as quickly as possible? And yeah, it went out the next day. Now, if you don't call me and you don't message me and you don't tell me that you need that, then it's going to go in the regular queue. And they're going to ship it when we get to shipping it through the numbers. But if it's important and you call me and you're nice, you know what I mean? Because I don't deal with anybody that has attitude or anybody that calls me treating me like I'm supposed to be their Amazon. You know what I mean? That's not what St. Lucian CMOS is about. And yeah, you come, you're nice to me, then I'll take care of you. But I won't deal with customers that have this like rude, self-entitled attitude. Like you go boy and come fetch this for me. That you can buy your CMOS from someone else. And as mean as like what?
You could make a joke out of it, lighten up the situation if they call you that attitude, and play about it. I think every customer is important, and everyone has space in this world, no matter how they present themselves.
You have a point. I agree, but this is something that I've kind of learned in my business, and just not just in CMOS, but in like as I work as a real estate agent, right? I deal with like in Toronto, the average home is about $1 million, and so I make about 2.5% on a sale. So to give you an idea, that's like about $35,000 I make from selling a house. Now, I've turned down a lot of business because I don't want to work in a situation where I'm not happy. You know what I mean? I don't want to work for people that make me like wish that I wasn't doing the job that I'm doing. I like my job. I like what I'm doing. And so I remember when I was first a realtor, I had a friend that was a realtor, and she was talking to me, and she was telling me this story. And I can't remember the exact story, but in some ways, I was kind of like, "Well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you try to do the, trying to like, cater to the client?" And she said, based on the way that person's interaction is, I felt like it wasn't going to be a good experience. And she's like, at the end of the day, I'm not coming to work to beg people to work with me. I'm coming to work with people that are ready to high five me and say, yes, so and so, I believe in you. Let's go. Let's do it. You know what I mean? And so I pick and choose who I work with. You know what I mean? There are some people where, like, I'll say this. If someone ever comes to you and says, Julian's an asshole and Julian's doing this, know that I did not want to do business with them. And that's why I was an asshole. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would rather be rude to someone and have them not do business with me than to suffer and deal with their torture as they put me in this position where I want to scream at them and I can't because they're the customer.
Well, when I grow up, I really want to be like you. I think,
But this is the thing. You can be like me if you want. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that I'm pardon?
I'm saying I think with markets, I am in rural Africa, and things are a bit maybe different here than in the West. Here, every coin counts. I myself am a small scale farmer, and I'm all about seaweed. I make seaweed fertilizer, and now I have this venture trying to get people to cultivate
Mhm.
I also sell the cultivated bit. And business is hard to come by. You could make a sale, one sale in what, 1, 2, 3 months. So well, I really wish I had the luxury of vetting the customers, or thinking about the emotion. Some people will give you a prize. You really wonder whether they know what you went through to. But sometimes you take a hit just to establish a relationship.
Mhm.
Sometimes, but eventually, I'm sure as things go by and things look up, I bet I'll get to where you are.
But
I like to say, thank you for being you and
but
and showing us there's light at the end of the tunnel.
but here's the thing. It's probably how, and I don't mean to say this rude, but I'm being brutally honest. It's probably how you're doing business that is creating that environment. Do you know what I mean? It's maybe how, like, and I'd have to, like, we'd have to sit down and look at what you are. Like, I'd have to look at the whole scene, and I could see maybe, where you could probably do things differently than what it was. Take for example selling in St. Lucia. What we do at St. Lucian Seamoss, no one was doing before. Do you know what I mean? And in fact, it was incredibly hard for them to sell their CMOS because unless you were selling, say, over 100 pounds or 500 pounds, most buyers weren't coming to buy off you because it wasn't, what I mean, cost effective. No one from North America is going directly to a CMOS farmer and buying 1 pound. It's just too expensive. Do you know what I mean? And so in those situations, those guys, they need to cultivate every sale that they have because the way the market is and the way the market is being sort of presented to them, that's what they have to do. But what we did was we looked at the market and said, listen, how do we do this differently so that we can maximize? Do you know what I mean? Like, you can sit there and say, this is how the market is, or you can sit there and say, what do I need to change the market in order to make it the way I want it? Like, how much time are you spending thinking about that? Because if you spent enough time thinking about that, you would get the answer to that question.
Yeah, you have golden points there, and I agree with you.
Mm.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
If you do the same thing expecting different results, they call that insanity. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
There's some work that needs to be done, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Well,
And it's platforms like this, conversations like this that open up the mind.
I I agree with you. I love it. This is why I look forward to doing this every Sunday and Thursday. It's not even to accomplish anything, but to have discussions about ideas that we never thought about having discussions about. Do you know what I mean? And to plant seed. Like, I truly believe that one of my gifts from God is my gift to be able to plant seeds into people's minds. And so you'll notice that if you spend enough time with me and we talk, you will start getting all these crazy ideas out of nowhere as I question and probe and kind of be like, oh, well, have you thought about this or this and that, or maybe you need to look at it this perspective. That's the kind of gift that God's given me, and I feel like part of me sharing this, like part of me doing this platform, is so that I can share that gift with people to help inspire them and to help them realize that a lot of this shit is in your head. Like, bro, we started St. Lucian CMOS with $2,000 Canadian that I got from a stimulus like check because I was stuck down there and I had no money.
Wow.
And look what we built it into. And we had no business plan, no idea, just a vision. And what's crazy is, like, we're at a point now where my partner trusts me 1,000% because everything that we discussed and sort of like dreamed about and manifested has come true. Even more.
Yeah, I'm looking to develop those connections and partnerships. Hopefully with people closer to the market.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of it is in the West, and I'm sure I'll we'll get there definitely.
Well,
As I work with the farmers here, the cultivators.
one of the best ways for you to get into the market is to get on that Seamoss Buyers Club that I made for on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there 100%.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be more consistent posting it and
For
putting it out there.
For sure.
But
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, those that make the money are the ones that are posting. I can pull up a list and statistics and show you all the. Pardon?
I'm sorry.
What did you say, Sherry?
I said you have a Seamoss Buyers Club.
Yeah, so there's a club on Facebook. It's called the Seamoss Buyers Club. It's got
because I actually follow your St.Lucian Seamoss page on Instagram.
Yeah,
we actually follow each other on there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you go on Facebook, you'll see I have one on on Instagram there, or not Instagram, sorry, on Facebook. So it's a connected to my Facebook company page, and it's a group there. That's one thing I think a lot of people don't even notice or realize is that most of my customers or most of the ads that I'm advertising to, when they find my page, at some point or another, they find that group. And so it's almost like I'm losing a lot of business because I have that group attached to my business profile. And so certain people, because I've had customers that have worked with me, them buying Seamoss for a long time, and they get into the group, and you know what I mean? They decide they like this person or whatever, So, but it just shows me that you don't own the customer. You can't control these buyers. You know what I mean? Those that want to work with you because they like you and you care about them and you treat them right, especially if you like them. And those that you don't, they were never your customer anyways. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like you need to decide who is the type of customer that makes you the most happiest. Because if you're going to focus on anybody, you should be focusing on the people that are going to make you like your job and come, like want to wake up consistently every day. If you had to work in an environment where you were like working at McDonald's where every third person came up to you and was yelling at you like, oh, you messed up my order, and oh, you screwed this up, and oh, you can't get anything right. Like, how long would you run that business? Think about that. Would you really run it for a long time? You'd hate it after a while. You'd get sick of, these people talking to you and, I don't know. That's kind of my view. I'm going to get back on the Instagram now that I had my phone charged for a little bit. So what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think I'm like out of pocket when I say that? I'm curious to see what your guys' opinions are.
Okay, I was listening, but I was also trying to find the Seamoss Buyers Club. But so I did find it. But I definitely can agree with you as far as like with what you were saying about the customers, because customers are going to gravitate towards whatever they like better, even if they weren't in the buyers club, and it was say, because like on Instagram or any platform, when you frequent anything or continue to look up something, you're gonna get a million other pages that say, oh, here's another person that sells Seamoss over there, and if that customer goes to their page and likes the presentation of that, they may go to that. So I mean, it's all about personal preference.
It is. You, like I said, you don't own the customer.
You don't own your customer. You know, you want to keep them, but you know, it's all about personal preference. It's just like, you know, hey, I might like Marshall better than Ross, and they could have some of the same things, but I'm gonna go to Marshall. You know, it's personal preference.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of times I help them regardless whether they're buying from me or they're not buying from me, because one, you never know if they're going to change their mind and like you more than they like the other person, but two, it's like in this day and age, like there used to be this like how do you say it? There used to be this time where, what was the saying? The game is to be sold, not to be told, right? I agree with that, because in order to get the education, you had to work for it. But we have the internet now. We have Google. That information is everywhere, and it is extremely easy to obtain. And so, at least for me, how I see it, I would rather that person get the information from me and be happy that I shared that with them, than for me to know that I turned them down and been like, you're on your own. You know what I mean? Like I've been in that situation where, you know what I mean, you don't know where to start, or you don't know how to speak, and you know what I mean? Even with like Oscar was asking how to start the pitch. I've been in that situation and had to ask people and had people turn me down and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
I totally agree with you on that. Because you know, for me, I'm kind of the same. I'm like, you know, hey, whether you buy it from me or not, I'm just glad you got some.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, hey, did you get it? Whether you got it from me, oh, you did, great, man. You're gonna love how you feel after you start taking it. You know, I'm just glad that you know people are, you know, enlightening themselves about Seamoss and the benefits of it. You know, and trying to heal their bodies in a natural way. Like I'm just grateful of that.
Definitely. So Michelle said something earlier about Dr. Sebi. I'm not sure what she meant about that. Maybe we're talking about so many different things. I checked this. Clubhouse has so much features now. Like you can chat in the background, you can direct message people, you can clip audios and share that, and there's replays now, and there's some in like, oh, it's like, you know. But hey, Michelle, yeah, I know you came here earlier. I was wondering if you had any questions or anything you wanted to talk about CMOS, because I love to give everybody, I guess, an open opportunity to share what's on their mind. No, don't feel like talking? Okay, no problem. Let's keep it moving. I was wondering if Ricky is going to come back. I charged my phone a bit, and I got the Instagram going. Oh, you need to buy some. Well, come talk to us. Let's talk about CMOS. How much do you need to buy? Don't be shy. Do you sell Sherry? Do you sell raw CMOS too, or do you just do the gel?
I only do the gel. I haven't gotten into raw as of yet. I do want to. I just haven't yet. Yeah, I just haven't yet. So I just do, you know, I buy raw and make, because like I said, my initial, you know, how I started was just me buying raw and making a gel for myself. And it just kind of went from there. And that's just kind of, you know, what I continue to do. Because nobody ever asked me, was like, oh, do you have it raw? You know, people was like, oh, do you may have more gel, or are you going to make some more gel? So that's just kind of how the process has been going and how I started. And you know, and I did add, like I was telling them earlier, I did add in, because I make my own elderberry syrup as well.
Do you infuse it with the CMOS gel, or do you sell it on its own?
Depends. You know, if someone wants it with the CMOS gel, I do it that way, or I sell it as a separate product.
Cool.
Yeah, so you know, it just all depends on the people want just the elderberry syrup itself, and I'll sell that, or they want it with their CMOS, or I I do cold pressed juices as well, and some people will want the sea moss in their juice, or they'll want elderberry in their juice. It just all depends. Whatever the customer want.
Yeah, that's how it is. You got to help the customer.
Yeah.
And give them what they want. Sort of. I need to get a new phone. Like, what do they call it? Stand. What happened? Something happened with my TV. That was weird. Okay. I wonder if there's like a ghost. I'm like looking at the TV and like out of nowhere it just kind of started messing up. Or did it turn off? It was like it turned off and turned back on. That's weird. I wonder if there's like a ghost in here. Bad energies. Seriously, it was like almost like a power outage. It felt
not
like.
claiming that. Not in this room. No bad energy.
No bad energy for sure. Yeah. What did I? Am I logged out? What is this about?
So, Julien, you source your Seamoss from St. Lucia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes directly from St. Lucia.
I love St. Lucian Seamoss.
It's really good Seamoss.
I love, like I was speaking earlier, like I had got some. I originally started getting Seamoss from this other lady. She sources from St. Lucia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Started getting from her, and then I ventured off somewhere else, and it was the biggest mistake I could have made. Because it just was not the same. It didn't gel the same. It didn't taste the same. It was just different. And I was like, well, see, that's what happens when I should have stuck to what I knew.
Yeah. And you go.
Yeah, you get people saying that Wild Crafted is the best because of this and that. Someone will come and say the experience with this Seamoss is better than that Seamoss. Personally, I just think Seamoss is Seamoss. As long as the environment is cultivated, is clean, and no toxins.
The same, and I was like, yeah, I'm not a fan of that other one. And I just didn't like it. Like I didn't.
But I understand it's human nature to stick to what works. Why would you want to change something that works?
Yeah, because in the beginning when I was just doing it and making it for myself, like I just was, I just would buy. Like I bought it from one place, and then I found someone locally that had it, and I got it here locally. But I shouldn't have, because I was I can just doing it and making it for myself. Like I just was convenient, and it was just convenient because it was in a little market that I was in. I was like, oh, I can just grab it. But then went home and tried to make it. It did not, it didn't swell up like it. Once you soak it, it didn't swell up. It just kind of was like there, and it was just like super, super sandy, super salty. Yeah, and it just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't what I had been used to from getting it from the other place that sources from St. Lucia.
Julien, I have a question for you. Hair loss. I'm watching you on Facebook. Have you ever tried Seamoss on your head just to see?
Yes. And I did find that it started new growth in my hair. So my only sort of regret is that I didn't continue the test and keep trying to see if it grew more. But I tried it for like about 5 days, and I found noticeable improvement where it was like in certain areas here, there was like, I guess what I would call peach fuzz starting to grow, where it was completely before just there was no hair there at all. And then one or two sort of like Homer starter strands would come out. And so I started that. But I think in addition to sea moss, you need to add stuff like not moringa, but castor oil. But there's something about the sea moss that when it gets into your scalp and your skin, it almost like softens your skin so that the hair follicles can start to peep out and pour out of your skin. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but that's what I kind of noticed.
That could be a whole new market right there.
Mm-hmm.
Before and after pictures. Or you could even come up with a product
Yeah.
that's just easy to apply, mixing the castor oil and the Seamoss, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe getting a consistency that is like a paste that doesn't peel off or something, and you're on to business.
Yeah. Well, I know there is sort of what's the word I'm looking for? There's potential there because my aunt has alopecia, and she took I gave her some purple sea moss for her to take, and she was taking it internally, like taking it as a gel, and she started seeing results on her head. And I remember, I'll never forget when I called her. I was like, "Oh, how's the results going?" And she was like, "Great! Oh, this is awesome! Thank you so much for it." Mind you, now that I say this, I'm going to give her a call because she hasn't called me for a re-up, and I'm like, "You better not be cheating on me." That's my aunt. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, she was like all like enthusiastic, and she was like, "Yeah, it is great. You know, my hair's already started growing back and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, how long do you leave it on your scalp?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "You're not putting it on your scalp?" She's like, "I'm supposed to put it on my scalp?" Like one of those comments. And I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" She says, "No, I'm just eating it like a gel. I thought that's how you take it." I said, she's like, "I didn't know you could put it on your scalp." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course you can put it on your scalp." And so I think, from I haven't checked back with her since I said she could put it on her scalp. So I'm curious to see if that is something that she did, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
been a pleasure, Julien. Now I have to run, and like always have fun with that.
all right. Well, before you go, you should reach out to this Michelle Albert that's in the group because she's saying that she would buy clay from the Caribbean or Africa here as well. Only if you know about this, it would make the hair more manageable, more moist and moisturized. Many things you can do with white clay. So maybe you should talk to her if you can get white clay for her. You know what I mean? And even she's been asking about CMOS. So you guys can connect on that level.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no
Michelle,
problem.
she's not able to speak, but I'll reach out. I followed you. I'm following you, and I will reach out to your back channel. Let me share my number also.
Okay.
My WhatsApp number. Yeah.
What does this scissors do? Share a clip. I'm gonna find when there's a good clip to share, and I'll go back to that. Because that's one thing I don't do that I should do is be sharing a clip on Facebook. I can't believe I got my Instagram back. Oh my gosh. I'm yeah. Like you don't understand. Like it was stressing.
Thank you for that, Julien.
Yeah.
I really hope I do get mine back, but it's been so long I've given up on it, and yeah.
So check. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish what you were gonna say.
I have to dash off.
Okay.
Now, just expressing my gratitude for you holding space always being consistent. You know, you're one of the most patient people I know of. You know, you have a natural ability to, you know, to talk with anyone or about any topic I know of. So how do you interact with people about different types? So that's a gift right there.
But
And thank you so much.
you know what? I appreciate that, and thank you. But I'll say this, and some might say it's a gift, but it was something. It was a gift that I developed through practice, and I say that because I truly believe that if you want to have that same, you can. You just gotta want to be able. You gotta also be want to be able to do the tasks and the stuff that it takes to develop the patience that you have. You'd be surprised how easily I get irritated and how quickly people bother me. And what I've learned is that it's not their fault. It's me. That's part of the reason why I have patience, is because it's really truly up to me on when I decide enough is enough. And in some ways, me being able to control me gives me more power. Do you know what I mean? And so, there's times where I want to scream at people, but like, it's almost like I have the power to control my own emotions. And so I choose not to do that, even though I want to do it. I don't know if that makes sense. You know?
Yeah, I want to grow up. When I grow up, I want to be like you in so many levels.
Then just decide that that's who you want to be, because who you are today is the sum of all the decisions that you've made in the past. And so in order to be the person you want to be tomorrow, you have to choose to be that person today. Right? Oh, he's gone. It's good he left, because I'm the kind of guy, like, if you don't end the conversation with me, I will find a way to worm back in and keep you on the phone.
Well, you gave him some nice parting words.
Yes.
I would say that.
Yes. Well, I want people to realize too, like, and this is what I've learned as I'm getting older, is that a lot of this shit is in our heads. It's what we create in our minds. It's not reality. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the kind of like the key to sort of like in spiritual enlightenment, is to be able to separate the reality between what we create.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Here's something interesting. The guy saying on Instagram, Black Ice, he said, I heard that there was a spillage around the Asian continent and it's affected a lot of the sea moss to contaminate. So the best ones to find are the ones around the Atlantic and Pacific regions of water. Even still, they must be heavily metal and radiation tested. I'll say this. I haven't heard about anything like that. I've never seen any news about that. And I would question who you get. The source of any information that you get, I would always question it. And so if this is coming from someone who's selling you CMOS, you know what I mean?
Right, because I would do more research. I wouldn't go to my course. I mean, like I said, even when I started off just buying for myself, was my main purpose, was just buying for myself to have for my own reason. I did a lot of research. I did tons of it. Looking things up, Googling, going from one source to another, get books. Like, I did so much research on it. Just because knowledge is power, and one thing, can't nobody take knowledge from you. And if you want to be informed about something, look into it for yourself. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like I'm a teacher, so I do that with my students. Same thing. I said, I tell them, even when I tell them something,
Mm-hmm.
You know, go look it up and see if what I'm telling you is true.
True.
That doesn't mean that I think that you think that I'm a liar, but there's nothing wrong with going to another source, finding out if something is true or not, or just, you know, making yourself more knowledgeable about something. Is nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. No, nothing. Put ninja back in his industry with the done already. What else is there? Sorry, I'm just reading what Michelle's saying in the back channel. I wish she could talk, and then, you know what I mean? It's so much easier, but it is what it is. I respect the space.
Well, I'm a little tired.
I know.
I'm just going through a lot.
And I understand that. And sorry, I didn't mean, I kind of slept that when I said, oh, I wish you could talk. I was just being honest.
Okay.
But I don't want to put pressure on you, and I respect the fact that if you would rather text, that's fine. Like, I'm told, I'll how do I say it? I'll make it work. You know what I mean? Like, I want everybody.
Dr. Sabi never died.
Huh?
I wish Dr. Sabi never died.
Me either. You know that?
Yeah, for sure. Because everything started going down drain. People just started bashing his reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because it's us, what they call black people. I don't call myself black, though.
Why not?
What is black?
I don't
Who
know.
named you black? When did ancestors started calling themselves black, opposed to indigenous? And all the names, every language, every land is our land.
Yeah.
See, I'm a real Egyptian. By the grapevine, someone told me.
Mm-hmm.
And Scotia, Scotland, the whole Europe, my Egyptians, Mizraim, Canaanites, Canandaigua, the whole America,
Mm-hmm.
Put, what they call Somalians. I'm not really sure, like, where else. We had East India. We were giants. How are we going to share lane with shorter people?
Mm-hmm.
Until we started allowing them to come and mix, and we were getting shorter. And the first midgets, the Twas.
Never
So
heard
every
of it.
language
Mm-hmm.
is Swish, is Convert, except for, well, you know, the languages in the lands. But that's why I don't want to talk.
Why?
I tell too much information.
Why not? No, share it, because a lot of times people want to learn this stuff. Like, this stuff is new to me, right? So a lot of times you'll notice when something's new to me, I'll sit back and I'll kind of listen, because I don't talk about stuff I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
What about Mr. Old African? Seamoss.
What about him?
What information, and the one from the Caribbean? Most people, okay, America is just really brainwashed. And it's not America no more. We're the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Because Egyptians used to run their lands. That is why the popes, all of them, dressed like Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
Most people claim, like the people, Princess Diana, you know, married into whatever their cousins,
Their bloodlines, everything.
Well,
yeah.
the bloodline, all Caucasians are Caucasians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how it works. People don't understand that. There's so many lies. But those people are not royalty, and they're not of those lands. They mixed in and they just took over. Those were Egyptians in that land. That's why they say Italians, tall, dark, and handsome. And I used to look at them like, well, where were they dark at? They here? They had pitch black hair, but they were snow white, pale. I used to look at them like where? Where were they tall, dark? I was like, well, maybe it's their eyes and they hair.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much information, but it's still there. Etruscans, I might be spelling it. I mean, pronouncing it wrong.
Etruscans? What are those?
Etruscans and Macedonians.
Uh-huh.
They were Egyptians. the tall people, the giants, Cushites, Punt,
So
Canada.
Stanfield here said, what about the vibrations of energy?
Yeah, you can go by that too. Sometimes I recognize people, like right now my vision is bad because I don't know, whatever, I'm like stuck in this town and I don't want to be here. There's nothing here for brown skinned people. There's no health. I've been bleeding to death. It's just so much going on. I've been smoking entirely too much. And I'm defeated in my voice and everything. My mother died since I've been here because I stopped visiting her because I wanted to save money. That's when she got sick.
I'm sorry to hear that. Where are you now?
I'm sorry.
Where are you now? Where?
Geneva, New York.
Okay.
And for the life of me, I can't meet. I only want to hang out with guys. I got my reasons. They want to get with me. What?
Well, just the way you said, I got my reason. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably understand what I'm saying.
Hey, such is life. We all have needs.
No, not that.
Oh.
No.
Okay, maybe my mind's in the gutter. I'm just.
I think I understand what you mean because
I'm just like, I only like hanging around guys. I'm like, okay, well.
I have more male friends than female friends, and I would prefer a lot of times to be around my male friends because you just get a different perspective of everything. They shouldn't want to fight with you, and I went to jobs where people thought they were going to try to force me to get with them. And I had a few women do the same stuff.
Wow.
In New York City.
Crazy.
Yes. Like you doing that to the wrong person because I'm not. I don't care. I can be dying. I'm not going to give in.
No. You should protect your energy.
Yes, but I'm a clay eater, and I want to put it in my hair and on my face. And
a clay eater? What do you mean? Like you actually eat the clay?
Yeah, Mr. Old African Seamoss, he should know about that.
Really?
He's from Kenya.
Is that a big thing in Kenya? They eat clay? I've seen someone where they make mud patties.
The natives.
Huh?
The natives here used to do that.
Well, I remember I watched a documentary where they were talking about how these guys made patties out of mud, and that was like some of this certain village they had no food to eat, and so they had to make.
You mean Haitians? The cookies?
Yes, that's it. That's it. The mud cookies.
The only thing I don't like about that is they add, regular table salt, and they add regular vegetable oil, which is both poisonous. And then they also add dirty water, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
That water it doesn't matter.
Contaminated water or whatever?
Yeah. The water that's accessible to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, natives, what I don't know what they called themselves before natives.
Okay.
But those people used to eat clay. I'm sure some of them still do. They're defeated.
Wow.
Tons of people that call themselves Europeans, they eat tons of clay chalk, but they sell it way cheaper than everyone else. And in India, everywhere, they sell clay. And they all eat tons and tons of clay. Okay. Now, clay has its benefits. Clay will clean, like you can put it on your skin. It will take all the impurities out of your body. It's like walking on clean earth. Like it'll tighten your face. It'll take the blemishes off. You have any bumps. It's kind of like using baking soda as well.
When you eat it?
Well, when you eat it, like if you have diarrhea, it'll plug you out. It will make you constipated.
But you're talking like basically like taking it like topically or something, like putting it on your face as opposed to eating.
You can do a hair mask. Yes, you can do a hair mask, a face mask. You can even brush your teeth with it.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I eat it because it's better than smoking cigarettes. And then I picked up a really nasty habit, which you probably think like, wow, this girl's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I started chewing tissue. I have no shame in what I've done because I had excuses.
Okay. You remind me of there's this show that I'm
Straight
trying to.
eating.
It's something like that where like some people are eating stuff like they eat tissue or they eat clay or there was something else
But
that.
clay, you see, there's some natives that still like use clay to like around their chicken, their potatoes. It extracts all the poisons out, especially the not diet. I don't really know what diatomaceous earth, but bentonite clay.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, the bentonite.
Now bentonite clay, people are not supposed to eat it like that because it takes all of the iron out of your body. And if you're using a spoon, you're using a fork, you're using like a plate, like whatever it is that you're handling the clay with, the clay is gonna extract. If it's a fork, if it's whatever, if it's metal, iron, it's gonna extract. It was gonna try to take the metal out of it.
So the show I was thinking about is called My Strange Addiction.
Yes, I've watched that. This lady was eating her dead husband with bread. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, with the
he was eating fine glass, and this girl, she was eating and not just chewing toilet paper, but eating like a big roll, like the ones that are in the bathroom.
Do you eat that much?
No, I don't. I only chew it. I don't swallow that.
Oh, so you just chew it.
I remember seeing one.
So
I remember seeing one when a girl was eating air freshener.
Uh-huh.
Like she would put air freshener on everything and just eat it. Yeah, I think it was on my show, My Strange Addiction. Yeah, it was just bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something about the girls on Facebook, and they've done it to me. There was this girl I have worked clay from recently. She put soap on my clay, and I couldn't understand, like, with my problems. Like, why would you not ask me? My fibroids, and like, I wouldn't do that to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she? She sold me clay and put soap or detergent in it or near it, so close. Clay absorbs everything. Do anything. It absorbs the taste and the smell.
Yeah.
And I rinsed it off. I could not rinse that soap out. And she would not give me my $40-something back.
How much did she charge you for the clay?
40. I'm telling you, they're making money.
Yeah, man. How much clay did you get for $40?
I don't remember.
And like, was this?
These people are money hungry.
For real?
They're money driven.
So, but I'm just curious now. Was this like clay that they bought from a thing, or did they make this clay, or did they go and just?
Some people go digging.
They dig it up. So this is like brown clay.
All colors, all textures.
Wow.
Look, you can start looking up videos. Like, there's clay pits, there's clay quarries. I don't know. I can't think right now. There's clay mountains. There's clay down south, North Carolina. There's clay here, but most people live and they just trying to save up everything.
That's wild, yo.
But these people make a lot of money. Pictures selling clay to the clay sellers, not to individuals. And selling it for $500 plus a bag. If you're living closer to them, you can drive a little bit halfway to them and they come and take it up halfway, and you can make like $2,000 from clay alone.
That's
like
crazy.
4 different clay sellers. I thought about doing that, but I still don't know how to drive, or else I would have been out of this town.
Yeah, you would have been gone.
So how much do people spend on clay per week?
Listen, these people have jobs. Like at one point, I heard $1,000-something. I was like, damn. I was like, they need to send me some clay, but I don't beg nobody for nothing.
No, man, you can't be begging for clay. Because in reality, you could just go out and get your own clay.
Well, no, I have to go all the way to Brooklyn.
Why Brooklyn?
Because these people out here don't, like, there's no African stores all the way to Rochester. And even in Brooklyn, and like, they're starting to copy off of the other clay prices. They're going up. Clay's supposed to be $2 to $5 a pound. But they're charging way more. In Europe, I just bought like $120-something worth of clay from this lady, and she charged me 20 pounds for $120 from her. Now the clay wasn't really good. I think it's bentonite. Like it don't taste like clay. It's chalk. They all taste the same.
But is bentonite good for you? Like, isn't like too much bentonite not like?
Yeah,
like...
it extracts all the iron out of your body.
Yeah, like so. You know what though? I bet. Are you taking Seamoss? Like, I'm not trying to sell you on Seamoss.
Listen, I live in like a small town. There's no way to get to. There's only a Wegmans and a Walmart. There's no Whole Foods over here. There's no Trader Joe's. I have to go either all the way to Rochester or all the way to Syracuse.
Wow.
And there's only a few buses coming in and out because they're trying to keep us stuck here.
Why don't you just ship it in?
Well, I don't always know like which company, and like I don't want to have to guard my mailbox.
Why would you have to guard your mailbox?
I don't have they don't have a key or nothing. It's just out of someone stole my packages twice already.
Oh, wow.
That's all it took.
Okay, forget that.
Yeah, but I had brought clay and someone stole my package. I was like, I don't think they have an idea what to do with the clay.
Yeah.
I think they might have thrown it in the garbage.
Yeah, they probably didn't even know what it was.
I think the mail person threw it in the garbage.
Really?
I think he was like, well, what is this?
Why would he?
This is garbage. I don't know. People.
Well, no, it's addressed to you. It'd be more logical if the person stole it off your porch and then looked at it and was like, "Oh, this is garbage." You know what I mean?
Well, I had severe pain.
Looks like clay.
And like I went outside like an hour after they claimed they delivered it, and it was already gone. I said to myself, well, what is these people going to do with the clay? I still don't know what they did with it.
Yeah.
And then I bought like these matches things, like 10 of them. You flick it. When you take it out, you can hold it underwater, and it won't go out. Once you put it back in, that's when it goes out. It's
like a wax match or something like that.
I don't remember what it's called, but I have it on my eBay. I had 10 of them, and they stole every single 10 of them. And the funny part is, if I had on glasses, I would have seen exactly who was at the mailbox. I passed by, I'm looking, I can't see shit. Sorry. I'm not even upset. I was upset, but not upset.
Hey, Julien, what is the price?
Well, yeah. I understand.
But out here, I'm never going to have like the type of support, even from family, that I need, that I want. Even if I'm willing to pay them, no one is willing to help me move out of here. They all want me to stay stuck here, which is so weird and sick.
Why do you think they want you to sit? Maybe it's just they don't have an option or know what to offer you.
Well, these companies that's supposed to help people find apartments and stuff like that, because I have what they call mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know the difference. I don't want to go into details with you. I don't want to tell people nothing of what I'm dealing with. It's best that I just don't talk about it at all.
That's fine.
So, it's a company that's supposed to help. They all, and my brother, think that I should stay here. Why? Dwindle and die? Why? I got all this beautiful melanin. You know how long I'm supposed to live? I'm far from dumb. I was a little dumb, smart child. I kept myself dumb so that I will not. I don't know. We're gonna leave it at that. I knew a lot of stuff, but I just was afraid to know it. You know, nobody is born dumb.
No.
Children, because you're so innocent, you're so much smarter. People don't know that. But I have too much knowledge and nothing to do with it.
That must be driving you crazy.
Yes, and you cannot tell there is brown skinned people living here, and I'm living here. I don't call myself black. You know, black means death. It means that you're not a citizen. But a lot of us are nationals. You know, there's so much stuff. Like, does anybody know about the Moors?
Yeah, a little bit.
They call themselves more rich. You know, they know what ish means. Ish means converts.
I didn't know that.
But they're claiming that they're the original Moors. And then they're subscribing to Moabites. I'm not going to tell you who the Moabites are. But I'll tell you one thing. They're not on our side. You tell me what other group that is on our side.
I don't know.
Exactly. Who's in Africa right now taking over Africa? I heard that there's a bunch of Chinese people that when they go to the beach, there's way more Chinese people than the actual people.
Oh, that's true.
People, not all of them are respectful. They don't. They look. A lot of them look down at us.
True.
But there's so much information that is in the Bible. I don't feel like saying it in English. Yeah. Well, that's it because I can talk.
And we can all talk. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Look, I kept myself quiet since when I was younger. Now all I can do is run the yacht. I have appreciated everything you just said. Just FYI. I've been taking it all in. Well, there's so much people we can learn from. I would have definitely loved to have learned from Dr. Z. But I understood his appreciation for women.
Yeah, that's one thing he did appreciate.
And I heard that's why his children didn't get along. Like, they're upset that he had so many different children. My grandfather had 60-something children.
60?
60-something. Not just 60. 60-something, like 60. Near 66.
Wow.
Yes. We're a big family, and they basically, a lot of them look alike. Especially the brothers and sisters, they all kind of look exactly alike. But we're also the highest, dying. So I definitely need something to shrink my fibroids. There was this guy, if any of y'all want to sell the duck, he said he's from, excuse me, Honduras. And he was willing to sell me the duck for like less than $10. I was like, what?
Was it real?
Well, I don't know. I never found out.
Yeah, that seemed too good to be true almost.
Well, I think he needed money.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That would do it.
Yep.
The English, the American dollars, the USD is worth more. Like when I went there, $1 was worth $100 or $200 there. So that's another way that these people keep other people, you know, at a lower state than us. Their money is not worth nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Jamaica, I used to hear that all the time. $1 here is worth like damn near 2,000 of their dollars, and that's crazy. Why?
Well, that's why they were scared about Bitcoin. Because it'll put everybody on a level playing field.
And it's crazy where Africa, all the gold, all the like the cars, phone parts, and like so much comes from Africa. And Africa was all, you know, the same people until these people started a conquest for indigenous people, and they started taking over those lands and moving to Africa, and then past Africa to America, the Caribbean. That's exactly how it happened. And indigenous land, you know, Aborigines, I mean.
Well, yeah, they did that to America too.
Europe too. Europe too.
Yeah.
White people not Europeans. They not white like spirits either. There's so much we don't know. See,
Right about that.
I'm getting messed up. Like I'm dealing with a lot of bad stuff. That's the only reason that I talk. I lost my mother in the process. I lost my aunt. I lost a lot of people. And I don't believe they were supposed to die. My mother was healthy until they gave her that false diagnosis.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Losing your mind, stressing
you know what's
anyone.
messed up? Like I have fibroids, so if I smoke, which I did, like I have to take. I'm so sorry. I did move my face from the phone. In order to stop my fibroids. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I have to take hormones, and hormones is the same thing that started my fibroids growing and that keeps my fibroids growing, besides sugar and meats. How is it I'm using fibroids to stop my blood from bleeding?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's something about the hormone medicine that they're giving you. It being synthetic the way it is, I don't think it's like tricking your body.
Well, I don't know, but I started growing a cyst right by my leg. It's a little personal, so I don't really need to be too specific. But you know how I made it go away?
No.
Onions.
Yeah.
Like I started eating a lot of. I went all the way to New York just for this. To East Indian store. There's quinoa, lentils, and I would put like 2 onions at a time while I'm cooking. And then it went away like that. It just grew in one day. It grew in a few hours. That's the crazy part. that cyst, I was even in the hospital for a full day. It grew within hours, and I don't think they put that much stuff in my body either. So like these doctors, these systems, they're killing us. And I've been through that. Just like I knew that they were gonna lie to me on the DNA test. I have so much to talk about. Like, damn, I will never shut up. You ever heard of that disc? You talk so much. No, something about you never shut up. I don't know. I don't remember it.
I know a song. It's an old song.
But yes, you know, and even the DNA test, they lie. Like I had to learn the hard way. Like I know if they're Asian, I know they're Caucasian. Everybody else, except for twins, triplets, and the ones that get albinoism, none of those people are from my father's people. My mother's people is different. Bless my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I miss her. She was a very good person. She was very relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Mothers are like
accepted
that.
us just as we were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it.
You're done?
I don't want to talk too much.
That's fine.
Well, I just need my fibers to go away.
The fibroids? I think Seamoss will help with that. Sorry.
Well, which one is going to get to me faster? I'm upstate New York.
Well, probably Ricky will. But I'm laughing because as I say it, like, dude, like the amount of people that like roll their eyes when I open my mouth because I'm always like, well, you know, that like Seamoss would help with that. And they're just like, oh my God, like the Seamoss guy. Like, does he ever shut up?
Well,
Sorry.
Seamoss is very good. Like I've always known Seamoss was good.
I know.
I have
It is.
soursop leaves.
And that's the thing. It's amazing. Like the Seamoss, it does so much stuff. It's hard to not like preach it. But you,
Absolutely, I totally agree.
so you got soursop leaves, nice. I never, and see that's the one thing I love about Seamoss is that it opens up to you to trying out these other stuff that you never thought about eating or trying. And so like I never had access to soursop leaves until I got into Seamoss. I never knew about it until people all around me were like, "Oh, soursop, soursop, soursop." You know what I mean? Even
I heard
moringa.
Dr. Sabi talking about it.
Pardon?
I heard Dr. Sabi speaking about the soursop.
Mm-hmm.
Soursop.
And
Now,
he's
if they
good.
didn't keep us so ignorant, if they didn't brainwash us, I would have known this.
Well, you know what? This is what I find kind of interesting and funny. Is would we have known so much about Dr. Sabi had Dr. Sabi not died? Because
Oh, I knew about Dr. Sabi before that.
I never knew about him. I never heard about
You
him.
never heard about Lisa Left Eye Lopez?
No, I know who she is, but I never knew about the Seamoss and
Yeah,
stuff.
they talked about the doctor that cured the AIDS.
You know what? I remember a long time ago, I saw an ad in the paper, like in a black mag, because we have these papers. One's called Share, and I remember seeing an ad like that, and I'm like, this guy's a quack. This is no way that this is true. Someone cured AIDS, whatever. You know what I mean? But I didn't assume it. Maybe he even said Dr. Sabi, and I was like, who names himself Dr. Sabi?
Well, I believed it.
Hey,
when I was younger, when I was younger, my aunt used to take me to go see the sick. And I told myself I was going to heal the sick.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody taught me nothing. Nobody told me nothing about. I was the dumbest child I ever knew.
Mm-hmm.
Who told me that I can do anything like that?
Nobody. You told yourself. You created that in your own world. What do you mean? Like I believe that I have the ability to look at someone and like I can sometimes look at someone and say, "This is what's wrong with you." Like I remember my sister went through some crazy medical condition, and she had this bloated stomach, and no one could understand what was going on. And I looked at her, I'm like, your body thinks you're pregnant. I go, when was the last time you had a period? And she was like, this and that. I go back to the doctors and tell them. And I told her exactly. And she went back to the doctors, and they found she had this rare condition that like no one had. And like they were amazed that I was able to diagnose her like that. But a lot of times we have it all within ourselves. It's just we convince ourselves that we don't.
Do you want to know why?
I don't really care, but you can tell me. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell. Look, I like people to try to figure out things themselves. I'm just gonna leave it as deja vu, but it's not that. Deja vu is something mainstream people made up. It's one way to look at it, but it is what it is.
Okay.
There's a lady, she says it in her book, St.Lucian.
Yeah.
She calls it infinite something. But, you know, people are so much smarter than they can be. My memory when I'm happy is I joke a lot and I say I'm a stalker because my memory is so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can look at something and not try to remember it and know.
So,
like,
yeah, don't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, and I did because I just don't want to forget this thought. So you briefly said something and then we moved on. Were you talking about the infinite intelligence, and that's where I'm pulling the information from?
Well, what do you mean when you say infinite intelligence?
I believe that there's a dimension in this universe, and that if you like allow yourself to vibrate at the right frequency, you can connect to this sort of dimension.
We're all connected.
Whatever. I don't know all this stuff, and you're asking me to like talk like I'm an expert, and I barely even know what I'm doing.
What do y'all guys believe in? Because like it doesn't matter.
Well, I'll just say this: that most of my intelligence doesn't come from me; it comes from within me, and that a lot of these information or ideas that I get, it's coming from messages that are that are downloaded to me, and I believe that this information is coming from the dimension that I call the infinite intelligence. Whatever you call it, whatever.
Not too many people believe in Christianity, right?
It's the universal storehouse of all information. What? What about Christianity?
Do you believe in Christianity?
I mean, what is Christianity?
What the Israelites had, and they passed it on to the world?
I believe that God gave a series of laws that one would call keys to the universe, and that if you study and understand these different rules and laws or principles, that you can then control the universe as God is meant to do it, and that you could create your own heaven on earth.
I think that's what made me smarter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What, the Bible?
Yes.
Totally. There's things that are unlocking within the Bible, not even just the stories, but the grammar and the text. Even how you struggle to understand the language, it unlocks power within yourself. There's things about me that my sister and my brother don't possess. And when I look at what is the number one or the only thing that really differentiates between the three of us is that I read the Bible and they don't. They've never read the Bible. I don't think they've ever read the Bible.
What is your background?
I'm black, I guess. My dad's from St. Lucian, my mom's from Grenada.
They never believed in King Selassie?
I don't know. I never asked them.
Hold on for a second.
Okay. I mean, maybe my dad does, because he's like, but I wouldn't. Isn't the guy King Selassie? They do the. He's like the leader of the Rastas, the Dreads.
Yeah.
My partner's a Rasta. Oh, the Ras! That's how he's described when I talk to people. And I'm like, oh yeah, my partner, the Dread guy. Oh, you mean the Ras? Yeah, man. Oh, yes, he's a good man. Yeah, man. No. You know, no one can talk bad about that guy.
Well, you sound like a really beautiful person.
I try to be.
I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
Every time I meet good people, I always wish I met more.
Mm-hmm. Well, my mom taught me to always treat everybody just a little bit better than they treat you, and you will never feel like you owe anybody.
See, I treat everybody equal the same way I would treat my mother, my father, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But some people I might have avoided. I avoided my father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. He
Mm-hmm.
might have killed me.
Okay.
I don't know. When I was younger, he looked a certain way, and then when I saw him again, he looked different. And I said, that dude cannot come next to me. And he was, I don't know what his diagnosis was.
Mm-hmm.
He might have killed me. I don't know. I'm not a psychic.
Mm-hmm.
At least somewhere deep down, I knew the answer already. So I was like, this dude ain't coming next to me.
You just felt that kind of vibe from him.
It was just weird. His face was different.
Maybe he was possessed, or maybe there was an energy. Like I truly believe that a lot of people that deal with like mental health issues, what's really happening is that they're being tormented spiritually.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yep, I am. That indeed.
Yeah.
That is why I cannot relax.
And what's funny is when you speak to someone about it and you kind of confront them and say, this is what I think it is, they're like, yep, that's what it is. And I've gone.
Not everyone knows, or at least at one point they didn't know.
See, I work.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I work in the church, right? I've been what you would, I guess, consider like a church elder for like the last 5, maybe 6 years.
Sunday or Saturday?
So Sundays, they have church.
Okay.
And then, but on Fridays, we have this thing called deliverance. And so people come and they have deliverance. And I've watched particular people come in who you could tell there were no connection to the church or whatever. And they had like this energy and this aura about them. And then they go through this, I guess what I would call a ritual or practice where the pastor casts the demons out or the whatever energy.
See, they can't do that. They're not supposed to do that.
Why not?
That's why you're supposed to read Matthew.
Yeah.
The Bible says something about the devils casting out devils. If God didn't give you permission to cast out no devil, people be like to me, oh, well, you need to go get that devil cast out. I'm not going to tell y'all nothing about the situation. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to talk about that.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I've told these people that I'm not going to go and play with that because I did start believing in voodoo. Like, I had a Muslim friend for like when I was in the 5th grade. Mm-hmm. She taught me about Bloody Mary. Yeah. She taught me about something.
Yeah. Okay.
And like coming to America, it's funny, right? So I lived in Canada.
I live in Canada.
I'm sorry.
Where did you live in Canada?
Montreal.
Oh,
Montreal.
That's where all the crazy people live.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, man. I'm like, the nicest, craziest people I ever met.
I'm just fucking.
They were. I never got bullied except like I had one bully, and he was a tall black dude. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? Not one. I was in like pre-K or something.
He probably liked you.
This dude wanted to be my bully.
He probably liked you. That's what guys usually do.
He was in the 12th grade.
And you were in kindergarten?
Yes. That's nasty.
Yeah, okay, that's a little odd.
It's because I went to his side of the yard.
Okay.
He wanted to be my bully. because I went to his side of the yard.
Oh.
So I went and got my cousin. She was short. She's shorter than me.
Okay.
And she handled. I don't know what she did, but
she took care of it.
I never went back to his side of the yard either.
Well, hey.
I ventured out.
Could be problems, right?
Well, it wasn't nothing much because Canada is so not like America.
I know. I was telling someone that today. I had to kind of, because we were talking something about racism, and I was kind of like, I don't experience like the level of racism that other people have experienced. Like once in a while you have an issue, like, but it's like, it's almost like whatever. Is that even racism? That maybe the guy just didn't like me. You know what I mean?
Do you speak French?
No.
You say you're from Toronto or something?
Yeah, I'm from Toronto.
Were you born there?
Yeah, I was born there.
Okay, no, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, I know.
I was born in Kings County Hospital in Kings County, Brooklyn, and I went there when I was about 1, and I left when I was 9. Montreal, Canada. So they made us speak French there. I would love to go back. It's going to be a long process.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I have family there, but since COVID, I had a few chances to do it before that, and I messed up. So tell us more about Canada.
What do you want to know?
I've been to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I know that at the airport, is there 2 airports out there?
Yeah, the one in the city and one in the out of town.
Okay, probably the one in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I know they sell poutine there, which most places do. It's that brown sauce one, not this sauce that I had 2 days ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like a mango smoothie. Oh, and there was a lot of vending machines that had weed in it. I actually went to Honduras, and someone paid for me to go through Canada to come back here, just because I had missed Canada.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, but they kept all my soursop. Like, they just went out of their way to try to piss me off.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to buy a lot of soursop. I should have. I messed up. Onions can actually take away my stuff, but I don't know. I've just been slacking.
Your stuff? What stuff?
All the fibroids.
Oh.
No, being I still have at least, I don't know how many I got left.
I wonder if Seamoss is good for fibroids. I think they are.
It should be. Anything that alkalines the body and have iron and helps the blood circulate.
Mm. So how late do you stay up? It's like 1:30. Do you sleep?
Oh, I do. I sleep at different times. Sometimes I can sleep all day.
Yeah. You sound
I've
so
just
wide
been
awake.
especially sad lately because, I have to. I'm like it's such a small town. They can choose not to give me a job. They can choose. There's one bike shop here. They didn't want to, give me business. They can choose to treat me like, ish.
Mm.
And then not find real good friends here, all that is not good. A lot of people, they're on crack. They only buy cigarettes, liquor, beer.
I'm so glad.
Crack.
Yeah, drugs can be the problem. Be bad issue.
Besides, wasting the body. That's all they have to offer me. It's like, wow. But most people know I don't do drugs, so.
Pardon?
Like, I cannot heal my body if I'm going to be doing drugs. I chew tissue, that's enough. Smoking cigarettes, that's enough.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that other stuff.
Facts.
And the chewing tissue, I've been trying to stop that.
How did you start that?
Well, my sister, she always attacking somebody.
What?
And I felt, this was when I was living in Brooklyn. Let me see what year. Like around 2012. I don't know, maybe 10. You know, she's taller than me. She's bigger than me. You know, I can't fight. Even if I don't believe in fighting.
Yeah.
But she would just harass me. And then eventually my other nephews and stuff started harassing me too.
Just picked on you.
So I started chewing tissue, and my mother told me about eating clay.
And then that was
And I started chewing a lot of tissue. Tissue paper. And then eventually I started doing the clay. 2012, 13.
So that's not too long ago. I hope it doesn't make you real sick, though. You know?
The clay, as long as it's clean, as long as people, like, you know, they don't got doodle hands, you know, stuff like that. It doesn't have, well, I don't know what kind of, like maybe lead and that type of stuff in there. Otherwise, it doesn't make my body sick.
Well, that's good.
But tissue, it has a lot of chemicals in it.
Yeah. It's like, why
and it's
tissue?
been chewing at my teeth.
Huh?
So it's been eating away at my teeth.
The tissue?
So, oh, sorry.
The tissue or the clay?
The tissue.
Oh, wow. I never would have expected that. Because you're just chewing at it, right? I guess.
Yeah, but it's treating. So it I don't know how to explain it. It's basically like sanding your teeth.
It'd be like grinding it.
Yes. It's like sanding it. I don't know. But it makes me feel like, you know, sometimes when I smoke, relaxed. It's an illusion.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if that has something to do with these spirits that are sort of troubling you. If they're even like pushing you to sort of, you know, how do you say it?
It's just I've been stuck here. So my sadness is because I've not met people out here that wants to go nowhere and do nothing. And I did apply for a few jobs. They haven't hired me. What else? There's basically nowhere out. I bought a trailer for $75, and they never sent it to me. And I never got my money back. They wouldn't help me. This was before COVID, a few months before COVID, and they would not help me dispute it, get my money back, nothing.
Wow.
And I had purchased, I was super cheap. It was my fault. I bought a gas thing from China for $20, and he never sent it to me. But the $75 thing, they still didn't give it to me. I was like, damn. It's just a lot of things bad. I paid for tickets for my bike. Like, these people here, all they want to do is arrest, and tickets. They don't want no other way to make money here. I know they know what they're doing. Nobody's that stupid. If I know it and I'm this stupid, you gotta be smarter.
Crazy.
It's just a joke. It's no diss.
No, I know. I understand. I get it.
But it's true. Like, no one is that stupid, right?
No.
Like, I'm sure they know how to make money other ways besides tickets and arresting people.
True.
Half of these brown people here probably went to jail by the time they were 17, 25. And when I first came here in 2015, I couldn't understand why I've never seen all these brown people that I see now. They're like hiding. They're here to just mix the fuck out. And that shit is driving me crazy. It's like not be seen. Yeah, I don't know. It's a joke that I've heard.
Okay.
But it's true. Half of them is mixing out.
Mixing out? What do you mean?
They're mixing to white.
Huh?
They're mixing to white.
They're mixing to white?
Yeah.
The brown people or the black people? I'm confused now.
Okay. There's no such thing as brown people and black people.
Okay.
They're the same people.
Okay, I agree.
The people they call brown, okay, it's like this. White people originally started calling Shemites. You know, the people that have twins, triplets, quadruplets, albinoism, you know, Jesus people, the people they call Black Americans.
Okay.
Not Native Americans, not Africans. But then, you know, so that Africans, because they didn't really want to mix out, basically they just started calling everybody black eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Aborigines, like from Hawaii, Micronesian, Fiji. They're all the same people. And most people that don't read the Bible, they don't know that.
Okay.
So brown and black, there's no such thing as black and brown. We all had the same amount of melanin. You stay in the sun, you're going to get darker.
True.
Egyptians, my ancestors, my tall, beautiful genes that they mixed out, they stayed in the sun super duper long. They got darker. They went from reddish brown, which everybody in the world was. There was no white Caucasians or no Chinese people at the time. But I won't tell you when they came in. That's none of my business. Today, this second. So, like you have you ever done Bible study?
What do you mean? No.
Have you ever done Bible study?
No.
They don't teach all about prophecies, nothing?
I mean, I read the Bible, but no, and I'm not kind of. How do I put it?
With the church.
I understand that, but like, I'm not on that kind of level when it comes to the church. So,
Have you ever been baptized?
Yes.
Well, I got baptized 3 times.
Yep, I've been twice.
Okay, see?
And I fast and I pray and I read my Bible, like maybe not every day, but to me, it's like my view of the church and religion is that this was something that was made by man, not by God.
Well, that's not true.
Okay.
It was given to the Israelites, and it was their culture. Israelites had no other culture but that.
Okay.
It was their way of life.
Okay.
And eventually, they wanted to be like everyone else. I don't know, maybe God was overbearing, or whatever that word is, like, it was too much for them to handle. But they wanted kings like everybody else. I don't remember if I read about that or I saw it in a movie, but it's true. All you have to do is read the Bible. And there's the older versions have more truth in it. Like it will tell you, which I was about to tell you, who white Caucasians are in the Bible. Let's just say that it said the person had blue eyes and blonde hair, but it didn't say blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give it away.
Why not?
So, because you didn't read it for yourself.
So?
Edomites, Esau, Jacob's twin. Jacob came out dark skinned. Esau came out first.
Okay.
He came out different from the whole wide effing world. You didn't read that part, Genesis 25?
I don't remember. I might have, but don't remember it.
Like, I remembered it. Because the mother, God told the mother that Esau is not supposed to get the blessings, although they allowed him to come out first. They used to be fighting in the womb, I guess, who came out first, who was going to get the blessing and who was going to get the birthright. But Adam and Eve was already, Indian red, you know what I'm saying? Indian, swarthy, all those things that they used to describe us. How they're going to make Jesus come from white people if, Adam and Eve is already made in God's image and likeness. You get what I'm saying?
A little bit. Trying to understand. I'm learning.
Okay, it's like this. White people are not indigenous. They're not brown skin. They got different hair texture, and they don't have melanin. He was blonde hair, blue eyes. Indigenous people is the opposite. We're made of I don't know. Look, put it this way: nobody's better than nobody.
Yeah,
I grew up in Canada, for goodness sake, and I love my people that I used to go to school with, and I was friends with.
Yeah.
Canada's
a good country.
Well, except for that COVID, like the way that they were going with the COVID. COVID is fake. Did you have to take any shots growing up?
Not really. But I did have meningitis as a kid. I almost died from it.
For real?
Yeah, and then.
Are you hairy? Are you RH positive?
Who?
Do you have hair on your chest?
Yes.
Do you have hair in like your butt, like your back, your lower back?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you probably Caucasian.
What?
You're Caucasian.
Oh, okay.
You should check to see if you have the protein, the RH protein, the rhesus.
I probably am. That's why I connect with white people so.
No, that's not why.
I'm kidding.
White people grow off mixing us out. There's no ifs and they cannot stay in the sun. They cannot see out of their eyes. They cannot have babies in their womb if they don't have melanin in their bodies. So, like, to a certain degree, they have to coexist with us. In the beginning, they were super kind until they started growing, until, I don't know, I'm not sure where it went wrong. They just wanted to take over. They wanted to keep taking. And they're trying to take over Africa. Them and Chinese people is slowly creeping into Africa and going to try to do Africa like America.
Of course, the whole thing is about corporate domination and basically
money. And they're like, they're the majority. They're not the majority. You cannot walk around with my DNA mixing us out. Talking about you're the majority.
But you know what? I'd love to stay and talk all night.
Yeah,
but
I'm getting tired anyway. I gotta.
It is. I'm yawning, and yeah, I still have to drive home from the warehouse. Like I'm at the warehouse right now, and so yeah, and then I got to get up in the morning, and I got a bunch of shit to do. I'm just thinking about that, and it's just like.
Thank you for talking to me.
No problem. It was my pleasure. I think I was meant to be here to
be a good support, be a good listening ear.
Yep.
Listen. And then I love people from Canada, but I wanted to speak to someone that spoke French.
Yeah,
Do
I
you know
don't.
anyone that speaks French?
Yeah, a little bit. But I'll tell you something. There's a lot of times where people will see me do the strangest things, and
Uh-huh.
like I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like there's always a method to my madness or reasoning.
Madness.
Yeah. And like even tonight, like some people would be like, what were you doing? You just, stop the conversation. I felt like you came in here and you needed me to be there to listen to you. You know what I mean? And so
See, I'm not lonely. I'm just bored.
it's no, I never said you're lonely.
No. Most people, I'm just explain. I always, since I was younger, I've always been like this. I always
Yeah.
explain myself. Like most people try to make me feel that I'm lonely, but I'm just bored.
Yeah.
I've always been bored all my life.
Okay.
And I've always been super kind, but now I talk shit. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not so kind as I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not giving up, but I'm tired. I'm super tired. I can't do this. But that's why I got to get out of here.
Yeah, you got to make a change. You know
I
what I
had
mean?
the chance to go. There's a guy, he lives in Montreal, which
Mhm.
my family still lives there.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he's a guy, he might want sex.
He probably does.
And what's going to be so messed up is me leaving my section E, and then, like, I just don't want these people to be winning against me. I don't want to be in, like, a really messed up predicament.
Then don't put yourself in one.
That's why I didn't.
Okay, so then
Like,
don't
if it's
go.
not one of my cousins to help me, then I
Mhm.
can't do it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to live with them. But, will y'all guys do this? I've seen the Seamoss conversation before.
Yeah, I do it
I just don't usually try to talk.
I do it every Sunday and Wednesdays. But see, that's even tells me more that like this is why you did it. This is why we were meant to talk because you see it, you do this, but something pushed you today to make that move, and just like something pushed me to say, listen to her story. So I'm glad that you were able to have this platform to get out whatever was in your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always wanted to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
But these days I've just been, I don't know, I'm conflicted because of what I'm going through. I feel like I'm a disease. So I want to stay away from people.
Well, then, like if you're a disease, staying away from people isn't going to cure yourself. It's just going to keep your disease.
Well, not really.
Go get help.
I met a dude earlier and I asked him if he drives. I'm like, I will pay you to drive me, I will try to find people to help me move my stuff into the thing. All I really needed him to do was drive me there. Mm-hmm. He was like, I forgot what he said about that. But he made it seem like he was different. He said, "Well, you didn't meet me yet." And then when he texted me, I called him. He wants a relationship. Okay. When I told him all I want was friendship. So how are you different if you're like everybody else?
Good point. He's not. He just said he was.
Yeah, he claims he was different on the bus. He's like, "Well, you didn't meet me yet." Mm. I was like, "Word?" I was like, "Well, let's see."
Is it that easy? I'm gonna use that line next time. Sometime next time, I try to talk to a girl and she gives me stuff, I'll be like, "Well, you haven't met me yet." I'm like, "Oh, word, all right."
Well, I love talking to you, and I don't want to keep you for too long.
No, I'm falling asleep, to be honest with you, and so, I gotta get up early in the morning.
Maybe next time I'll be quiet.
Yeah. No. Don't feel like that. You did what you felt like doing. You know what I mean? And I hope you.
But I want to buy the Seamoss, and I want to buy Seamoss pills and the Seamoss gel. Then I can put it in my tea.
Yeah. So
maybe y'all can give me ideas of like making porridge, like Dr. Sebi used to do.
Sure.
And different things.
Yeah.
I know Seamoss Hills.
Seamoss Hills.
Yes, like I had bought.
Oh,
something.
Heels.
Yes, Heel.
Okay, I think so.
I
Hills.
bought like a Seamoss or something. I don't know if it was bladderwhack. It was Seamoss, but I put it. It was the powder. It was from Dr. It was from the fig tree.
Mm-hmm.
From Dr. Sadie's ex-wife, and it just did not taste or smell good. I put it in my lotion. It was healing my skin like the next day.
Wow.
Yes, that's how fast it was working.
It was good shit.
But I lost it. And then I left some of it at my uncle's, and he threw it out.
Oh
You
no.
know, he's just ignorant. You know, people that want to fight with you, knowing that you can't fight. But thank you very much, and I'm gonna definitely let you go because you're too kind. And I will talk for 5 more days.
Okay.
And then we're gonna wonder, well, why are we still on the phone?
I'll fall asleep by then.
That. So I will look out for this, and we'll see.
All right.
Oh, and the clay, and not the clay. What is it? The Seamoss pills, and the. Do y'all ever sell bladderwhack?
Yeah, I have bladderwrack, and I have. But see, I don't sell the Seamoss pills. I only sell the raw Seamoss. So what you got to do is go to goldseamoss.com. They sell the pills. They have the bladderwrack. They have all of that.
And it's good prices?
Yep. The best prices.
All right. Gold. Oh, it was on here, right? Let me see.
He was on here. Gold Seamoss.
Like I saw it written. I have to take a picture. I have so much going on. I'm like running and slow at the same time. Okay. Good night.
Good night. It was nice meeting you, Michelle. All right, guys, it's getting late. I am tired. I was falling asleep while she was talking. So let's get out of here. And thanks for joining us. That was an interesting conversation with Michelle there. Yeah, man. See you guys on Sunday. Actually, there is a good. Well, this is the thing. Actually, actually. So next Sunday is going to be a special episode because I will be doing the live stream from St. Lucia. Now, there might be a chance that I won't be able to get on all the platforms given that I might have limited devices with me. So we'll see how it goes. But if it all works out, I'll be in St. Lucia. Yeah. Well, I will be in St. Lucia, but I'll be doing the live stream from there. And good night, Khaled. It was nice. Thanks for listening. Take care, everyone. And don't forget to take your Seamoss. Boom, bam. How do I end this? Over there.